homeBistro.com. Freshly prepared, home-delivered, restaurant-quality gourmet meals delivered straight to your home. Choose from over 50-plus gourmet meal options cooked by world-class chefs and delivered frozen, ready to eat within minutes and no commit. Welcome to the one-shop gourmet food delivery, specializing affordable options to eat right and feel great. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Every ingredient is handpicked to the highest standard. And why you should buy from homebistro.com? Restaurant quality, made with natural ingredients, delivered right to your door. Overnight shopping is available. Diabetic, paleo, heart health, and vegetarian options to eat. Doing business since 1999. Courteous, knowledgeable, and professional support. Complete PCI compliant SSL security ordering, and great meals. Choose from some of my favorite dishes: the Mediterranean chicken with orange honey sauce, the charbroiled chicken romesco, or the grilled chicken breast with sweet and spicy vegetables. No matter what you choose, you can't lose with homebistro.com. Eat great, feel good, and save some money with homebistro.com. Hit the link in the description section below for more information. Located in Henderson, Nevada, bulksupplements.com supplies over 400 pure nutritional supplements, ingredients to hundreds of thousands of consumers and manufacturers. All of their products are available from grams to metric tons through their online store at bulksupplements.com. Orders received 4 noon Pacific Standard Time ship the same day. Their FDA registered CGMP manufactured and distributing facility has a staff over 60 full-time employees that take pride in providing excellent customer service and producing quality products for their customers. The wellness of the community is of the utmost importance to Bulk Supplements. It's dedicated to maintaining all health code and government regulation. Each supplement is tested in their in-house laboratory before distribution, ensuring that all products are safe for consumption. For any additional testing, they utilize reputable and vetted US-based independent labs. Customer service is available 7 days a week from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time through live chat, phone, and email. Bulk Supplements products are produced in an FDA registered and inspected manufacturing facility. So if you want quality supplements at a quality price, Bulk Supplements is the company for you. Bulk Supplements, clean and pure bulk supplements. Check the link in the description section below for more information.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that? To the black and gold family, we in the building. Saturday Saints talk is upon us once again. Chiming in on this one, big ups to the great Saint Tank. The black and gold nation is in full effect. Much love to all of you guys out there on this beautiful Saturday, man. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. You're enjoying your weekend. Hope you had a beautiful Saturday as well. Hope everything is going well to the family members who are dealing with very cold times. Hope things are getting better, especially for the Texas family, as well as other family members across the U.S. and the world right now, especially in this country that's dealing with freezing temperatures. So much love, prayers, and blessings go out to you all in this great time of tribulation. So with that being said, I'd like to welcome all of the family members into this live stream. We thank you for being here. We appreciate you guys and thank you for all that you do. And like I always say, starting the shows off over 5 years now, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q chiming in, and you are the great Saint Think Tank. The best of the black and gold nation is well represented with you. So who that, and salute to the great Saint Think Tank and the Who Dat Nation. The black and gold family is in the building. So thank y'all for being here with me on TSC Saturday, Saints Talk, Saints News plus discussion. On this show, fam, I'm not going to throw a bunch of stuff on you guys today. This is really a show that I wanted to dedicate to a Q&A type set to the rest of the family members in this thing. And pretty much that's just what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to give the family members an opportunity to chime in. Hadn't had that opportunity to give the family members that over this past week. But for this particular broadcast, this is an opportunity to family members to vent questions, comments, whatever you guys want to talk about that's black and gold related. Feel free to chime in. Link is in the chat if you guys want to hop in on the show for this installment. So we'll get going right after, I go over the rundown of the roster of the family members are in the building. Jerry Poor, aka the OG, is in the building. Who that to your brother Jerry? What up, Cameron? Cameron Setliff is in the building. Who that to you, Cameron? What's up, Randy? Who that, fam? Randy Major, much love, fam. Appreciate you. Who that to you? Ferg 318, who that to you? Chris Rooks, what's up, Chris? Who that to you? He said, I think Breeze still has it in the league, judges too much. Okay, he said, I think Breeze still has it. The league judges too much. All right, thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. What's up, T-Mama? Tower in the building. Who that to you, baby? Much love. Appreciate you being here as well. Be safe on that road. Gabriel Thomas, who that to you as well. What's up, Tasha? Who that to you? Simply Tasha in the building. Big ups to Tasha and my dog, Big Sean, PD in the building as well. Much love to the family members doing it big. All right, appreciate you. All right, who else we got? What's up, John? John Gerard in the building. What's up, fam? Yes, we are starting. Sometimes I do tend to fool the family members every now and again. I would pop up on your ass unsuspectingly. I will do that. That's why you got to make sure you punch upon that, punch down on that, the bell. Hit the bell to be notified, when we do go live. But thank you, John, for being here. Who that to you? What's up, Rose City? What's up, William? William Dickinson in the building. Who that to you, bro? Good to see you as well. Much love. All right, who else we got? Daniel. What's up, Daniel Williams? Who that, fam? Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you. All right, Cheryl. Who that for life? Cheryl, what's up, fam? Big ups to you. Thank you for being here, baby. Big ups. All right, what else we got? Tramal. What's up, Tramal? Who that to you, fam? Big ups to my dog, Tramal. Eddie Dixon. Who that, Eddie? Who that to you? What's up, Texane? Who that to you, my brother? Good to see you in here as well. Kid Reese. What's up, Kid Reese? 225 in the building. Lone Side. Been a while since I seen you, fam. Much love, bro. Appreciate you being here. Kelly. What's up, Kelly? Kelly be in the building as well. Much love to the family members. Thank y'all for joining us for this episode of TSC Q&A Live. So I appreciate y'all for chiming in this thing. Big ups to you guys. So with that being said, what's that? Chris says, Q, they should let me QB. Why not, bro? Go ahead on up there and give it a shot, bro, and see what they do. You know what I'm saying? Only thing they can tell you is no. Only thing they can tell you is no. Hell, Taysom don't have much experience quarterback, and why not? You know what I'm saying? Sheesh. All right. 31-year-old quarterback, 4 games as a starting QB. Not much of a large sample size to see what he can do in the long scheme of things. A lot of questions going forward. Now, I said, and listen, family, the last night's show, I appreciate the family members who popped up on the 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning show that I did. I just wanted to sprinkle something on the family members. Toward the back end of the show, I had found an old clip of the show from March of last year of me talking about the QB situation at that time. And then, of course, I can go back a year back of that, before that, and talk about it. But in that one, I was pretty much calling it, and that was the March 20 before all the moves was making. And I watched that footage and I was saying to myself, man, and the question I was asking at the time is, why would you, if he was the franchise quarterback, why would you only give him a 2-year deal? If he's a franchise quarterback, most franchise quarterbacks deals are 3+ years. That takes away any uncertainty. Why just a 2-year deal? And of course, I then showed with the family members the article that I was covering over a year. Well, it's not been quite a year now. I think that was March the 7th of last year. So we haven't yet arrived at a full year of that, but close to a year since that show was recorded. And I was pretty much looking and saying to myself on that show, wow, if he was the franchise, why just a 2-year contract for Taysom? And of course, the big beacon was the fact that I was covering the article from CBS, which was quoting Sean Payton in an interview saying that he just wanted Drew Brees to return so that he could pass the torch to Taysom Hill. He said it in that article. I played it and displayed it and archived it in that show. And then, of course, I went back and found that article and then shared it with the family members. For people who didn't remember or forgot or didn't remember the plan, what was for the Taysom? The plan was for Taysom was Sean was supposed to, he begged Drew back last year, and then Drew gave him the year because he said Taysom wasn't ready and Taysom was the guy. I showed that. I gave that facts on screen. I gave that visual proof that he said that, and they covered it in the article, and then we talked about it for a 4-hour show that was. And if you want to go back and watch that show from last year so that you guys can see what I was talking about, feel free. I displayed the article in the last show, but toward the back end of the last show. But there, if you go to the community section of the platform's page here, of our YouTube page, then you can see the link to that show from last year. And you can go back and listen to the whole show. It's about 4.5 hours long. But in that show, I started off covering all that news, notes, and items, and how Taysom is the franchise at 30-something years old, and he you want him to be the franchise, and he's 2-3 years older than Teddy Bridgewater. It just kind of, and then my point, which I had forgotten, which I was saying that was merely a move just to use him as a gimmick person because they knew he wanted to be a quarterback. But at some time, do you really believe that he's a quarterback? And I think he does. I think he really believes, and he is Coach Payton believes that Taysom is a quarterback. At first, I was saying to myself, I think he's just using him for his potential. And once the contract rolls out, he's going to just do some poor smoke at what he did to Teddy Bridgewater. And Taysom Hill needed to take lessons from what happened with Teddy Bridgewater before when Sean told him the same thing. The 2 years is not a franchise quarterback deal. That's more like, let me see what you can do, So with that being said, if y'all interested, please feel free to go in there. All right, big ups to the rest of the family members chiming in. Raheem21, who that to you? Tyrese Mitchell, what's up, fam? Who that to you? Big ups to all the family members. Tramal says, Q, I know Peyton was high yesterday. Well, see, bro, listen, bro. My mentality, and, I got love for Coach Peyton. Don't, I don't want everybody to feel, like, oh, Q hate the piss out of Peyton. No, I actually love Coach Peyton. You know what I'm saying? I really do. Coach is he's an awesome coach, but he's not perfect. And I understand that I never let, that aspect of it blur or cloud my vision, my outlook or perspective on it. And despite the love that I have for the players and coaching staff, the team is still here. There's a pecking order, just like in the mob. Just like anywhere you go, jobs, whatever, there's a pecking order in there. And the pecking order goes Saints as a team, the team, meaning the organization. The Saints organization's up here, and then the coachings is here, then the players are here. And the reason why it's like that is because we don't lose the priority of what's important. And why is it set that way? Because the organization is going to be here because we've supported it. We've empowered it to the point where it's, it's worth over $5 billion right now. When Tom Benson bought it, I forgot how much it was, but it was a lot. It was a lot worse than that, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know what's going on, family, with this blurriness. I'm monitoring my screen. I'm a little blurry here, and I don't know why I'm pixely right now. I don't know what's going on with that. So I'm going to just continue to maintain that. But my monitors is not showing. It must be an internet thing. But I'm going to keep on monitoring that internet stuff, family. If it doesn't clear up, then I'm going to reset it. But just deal with me for it right now. Anyway, like I said, that's the pecking order, and people got to get that. It's the players here, the coach here, and the organization up here. Now, why is it like that? Because the organization is not going anywhere because you are empowering the organization via whatever you're giving it. They're happy. The second is the coaches, and the coaches are there because they're getting paid from the organization, given, and they get the money from you. Gail gets her money from you. So if that's the case, that means the players here. And the reason why I have the players and all that below that is because at any given time, players and coaches could leave to go to your rivals and come back to try to hurt you or beat you in games. So I would never, ever in my mind put a coach or a player above the organization as the whole. That's like me taking off my black and gold gear and putting on somebody else's colors and saying that I am them because I'm upset with the organization and I don't want to be there. If that's what you're about, then, that's what you is, but that's not what I'm about. When I say black and gold till I'm dead and cold, I mean the piss out of that. I'm just going to keep it real deal Holyfield. But they ain't black and gold till they're dead and cold. We talking about most of the players and coaches. They can go somewhere else and go find a job and go coach for the 49ers and come back here and beat you. Hell, the best people, they can leave to go to the Bears or whoever else and then put secrets about the team so that the next team could beat you. That's the game. Their only loyalty is to $1. You see what I'm saying? Their loyalties, coaches, players, are to $1. You piss them off with the dollar, they're going to want to go somebody else that's going to really pay them. See, that's not the same with diehard people. It's not the same. We're going to ride with the team. That's what my mindset is. So thanks for asking that, bro. Appreciate you throwing that out there, Tramal. Who that to you, Sydney? Appreciate you. What's up, Jaja Williams? Who that to you? I appreciate you. Cameron says it's time to let Drew Brees to retire and let Jameis Winston be the quarterback in 2021 season. Thank you for that, Cameron. What's up, Kelvin? Kelvin Washington from Phoenix, Arizona. What's up, Kel? What's going on, fam? Big ups. Tyree said, no one knows Jameis not going to get us to the Super Bowl or NFC Championship games, Cameron. What's up, Larry? Who that to you? Larry McGee, what's up, fam? Good to see you in the chat. What's up, Carlton? Tyrese, we don't know that, says Carlton. B Jizzle, what's up, B Jizzle? What's up, fam? Good to see you in the chat, my brother. Big ups to you. Hope everything going all right for you in the Big Easy, bro. And hopefully everything going all right for you in the black, in the blue family down there in New Orleans, brother. Big ups to you. Thank you for joining us today. What's up, Sydney? Sydney, who that to you? Big ups to you. Sydney Cox in the building. Slade Smith, who that to you? Says Davenport is now known as Mr. Glass from the Bruce Willis superhero movie. Samuel Jackson. Oh man, it was a weird character in that, wasn't it? That was a weird ass character, man. I really, I don't know. Going into his fourth year, not a full year, but it's getting close, man. 2 years remaining on his contract, entering his fourth year, hasn't played a full season. That was a big draft pick, Peyton Whitney. Remember, he bypassed Lamar Jackson to grab Davenport. Oops. Or maybe we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Davenport might ball this year. We'll see. Trey Hendrickson showed us that, things could change. Hopefully that'll happen for him. All right. Big ups to the rest of the family members as well, Jerry. All right. Who else? Jeremiah. What's up, Jeremiah? Who that to you, fam? Jeremiah Smith, who that? What's up, Anthony? Who that to you as well? So thank all the family members. I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all being here. Thank y'all for joining us in this one. Please hit upon the like button. And we'll get going. Now, like I said, family, this one's called Saturday Saints Talking. For people that remember, Saturday Saints Talks is merely like a Q&A situation. I didn't have an opportunity to open up the lines of communication. So what I want to do is I'm going to go over one news article right there. And I see Tyrese is already logged in. Tyrese, you just be patient and wait there, my friend. And I'm going to go through this one article right here, maybe two, and then we'll open up the lines of communication. So if you guys want to pop in with any questions or comments, you can feel free by hitting the link. It's in the chat. It's pinned in at the top of the chat. Gives you the link to chime in on the show. So Gundam, what's up, Gundam? Brother Gundam in the building as well. Yeah. And so with that said, we're going to share the screen and we're going to get right on in. All right. Report. All right. This is coming directly from Saints News Wire. And this is a bit of shuffling that occurred as some things happen. Who that? KK504 and 44 lady. What's up, baby? Who that to you? Thank you for being here as well. Appreciate you. Now on screen, Saints coaching staff shuffle continues as Dan Roushard moving to a new role. Coach Roushard is becoming the tight end coach. And with that being said, this was revolved by Jeff Duncan saying here in Saints will likely move veteran offensive line coach Dan Roushard to the position of tight ends coach / running game coordinator. So Peyton's going to be listening to Roushard to run the ball. Okay, then. All right. Well, Coach Richard looked like he kind of hefty. Maybe he could push Peyton over and make him listen. All right. But with that being said, man, let's go over this story right here, family. We're going to get through this and then we'll move on to the chat aspect of it. And Jeremiah says, Big Q, can we send a prayer to all the family that's struggling in Texas right now due to winter? Yes, sir. We most certainly can send out prayers, blessings, and everything else to the family members that's dealing with this ridiculous stuff that's happening out there with the cold. They're blaming the cold with the power supply. Last time I checked, Texas was one of the most uh, heavy resource places in terms of energy. I mean, when you talk about Texas in power, man, that wasn't supposed to be. Boy, a lot of these sucky regulations that we under right now is really tearing the country up. And look at the effects. There are people dying in the cold. This is an absolute catastrophe. And this shows a massive failure of people at the top that we allowed to do this. And we need to pull some of this power back from the people, if not all of this from certain people. They're absolutely abusing the people. The way they got all of it set up, who decides when to turn them on. And I was reading an article the other day where there were seconds, maybe minutes or hours from the massive collapse of the energy grid, which would have taken multiple months for it to be powered up again. This is absolutely insane. I see reckless politicians heading off to warmer climates. So what's his face flying to the Cancun, and the constituents sitting there freezing it. You know what's off. Children and all. It is an absolute show. If anything I've seen, family, over the last few years, I have seen the absolute worst in the bureaucracy. I really have. And I call it a bureaucracy, and all that bureaucrat means is a person that's unelected by the people. You know, it almost feels like a selection at certain aspects. I won't get all into that crap. But I just can't stand what's happening to the people, and the people paying their bills. And then the major part of it is I'm just reading something online where it says ultimately there's going to be an explosion in prices for power. You're going to be, people's bills going to go up because, I mean, this is absolutely pathetic and awful. Watch as I keep telling people to please educate yourselves on how the world really works, so we are not a prey to the people that are keeping the information from you. That's the only advantage they have, is the fact that they know and you don't. Let's eliminate that breach. Let's eliminate that Grand Canyon of lack of knowledge. Let's know as much as they know so they can't do this stuff to us. So with that being said, no doubt about it. Prayers and blessings to all of you guys that's dealing with the cold. I've been monitoring it and watching it, and I am very appalled by what I've been seeing. I'm very upset about it. I came on the show a couple of shows ago and I was really upset about it. And it's just terrible. So prayers, blessings to all of you guys in Texas. I started the last couple of shows off saying that because I'm feeling the pain of the Who Dat Nation that's in Texas and other parts, other country that's dealing with this. This is not supposed to happen, especially in this country where the people work hard and the resources are there. So peace and blessings to all of you guys. Thank y'all, man. Appreciate y'all and I love y'all. Keep y'all heads up and stay strong. Please stay strong and don't let them people step on your spirit or soul. Please, we got to learn what's really going on. So with that being said, I'm gonna keep it moving. Tragic, big ups to you, fam. Who that to you, Tragic, brother Tragic in the DWF. Who that to you, fam? KB, who that to you, baby? Good to see you. True Hurts, what's up, fam? Good to see you as well. Collinator, who that to you? And appreciate it. Tragic says, I'm thankful only our hot water was frozen for a day and a half, but we maintained power. That is positive. So a lot of people not as fortunate as Brother Tragic and his family. So with that being said, family, I'm going to move on into the next one. Well, Anthony, let me read a couple of comments there, and then I'll jump into it, family. I only got 2 articles to cover anyway. I won't spend a lot of time on them. Anthony says, Texas only state in the nation that the power grid is excluded from regulation and independent greedy controllers of their power. He says, what's that? What's it? Top down greedy legislation got to get them there. Yeah, Anthony, you're right. That is, and I was reading something about most of the people that sit over top of the decisions of who up the power don't even live in Texas. One of them, a person that live in Canada somewhere. I'm like, how y'all let that happen? Because we were too busy working and paying attention. That's how they do. You hit you with all this stuff, and while they're doing that, they're moving this around and lying to you about it. I mean, it's so much, man. But like I said, the only thing, there's no such thing as royal people in this planet. We all come from the same creator. We all have the same organs and blood. Well, some of the blood might be this type and that type, but listen, the reality at the end of the day, there is nobody better than you. You get what I'm saying? Which means the only advantage is a lack of knowledge. Once you gain that knowledge, that lack is gone. And that is the main thing that's happening today. But I'm very happy and fine to the fact that expeditiously we're seeing that breach or that gap in knowledge is getting less and less and less because people are getting serious about finding out exactly what's going on. They're figuring it out. We're no longer distracted. So with that being said, thank you. VB Saints lady, thank you, baby. Appreciate you. Says, hi, Big Q. And by the you too. Street has left the booth and will take over as coach of the Saints O-line. Big Q, are you going to apply for WWL Saints play-by-play job? I don't know, VB Saints, Saints pale lady. I don't know about that, my friend. I don't know. It would be fun though. I guess McAllister would be my guy sitting right next to me. You know what I'm saying? But they said, Q, listen, bro. You can have the job, bro. Listen, bro, but you can't be cussing at the referees and throwing stuff at them. You can't do that. They're not gonna let us in the game anymore. And then when, you know what I'm saying, so I can't keep it real. Well, you can keep it real, Q. You just can't, you just can't be, Q. So you telling me I can keep it real, but I can't be Q. Yeah, you can't be cussing. You can't, you can't be cussing at the referees, especially because we know you. You know you gonna cuss at the referees. You can't do that, Q. You gotta keep it real, Don't cuss at them, Q. All right, I hear you, bro. Oh, I hear you. I don't know about that, my baby. You know what I'm saying? I might be a little too different than what they got going on up there, but I appreciate the thought. Tex Saints said Texas can get away with the crap they're pulling on us because they have their own electrical grind and company. Is that right? Grid, electric grid and company to avoid regulation. They don't have to answer to Uncle Sam. Okay, well, that has to change. And that will change quite fast. Watch. That's going to change after this atrocity. And that's the part of it, man. What's up, James? Appreciate you, James Van Corf in the building. Big ups. Revolt Control. What's up, Revolt? Big ups to you as well. Appreciate you being here. Lori, who that to you, baby? Good to see Lori in the building as well. And big ups to the rest of the family members. KB, what's up, KB? Who that to you? Jonathan, who that to you? Said my power was out for 4 days. I live in Natchitoches, Louisiana. We have no running water for 17 days. Wow. Listen to that, man. Listen to that. Absolutely amazing. Cameron says I was very trying of this cold. It's very tired of the stupid cold weather. I'm really excited for the springtime very soon. Jonathan says I end up getting too cold and my feet were actually froze together. I had to stay in the hospital. Just got out today. Wow. Did you hear that, family? The man feet froze together. It was so cold. Man, this is terrible. Blessings and much love to all the family members that's dealing with this, family. Much love, and I'm really I'm speechless. And like I said, I'm very upset about this, man. But this is truth. But listen, when stuff like this happen, people get real. They understand and they do something about it. They wake up and they mobilize, they move, and that's something that they don't like. They like to keep you under control. Enough of that. If you know as much as they do, you can move and create change that'll benefit everybody, as it being this scheme everywhere. But anyway, let's get into the football side of it, family. But much love and bless to all the family members that's dealing with this difficulty. All right, we're on the Saints wire. Saints coaching staff shuffle continues as Dan Rouchard moving to new role. Like I said, you seen Jeff Duncan's tweet about veteran offensive line Dan Rouchard to the position of tight ends coach, running back coordinator, and promote assistant offensive line coach Brendan Nugent to the offensive line coach. Rouchard coached Saints tight ends in 2015. So there it is. So with that being said, reports that the Saints are continuing to tweak their coaching staff and promotions from within. The Saints offensive line coach Dan Rouchard, who's a hell of a coach at that position, expected to move back to his position at tight ends coach. And of course, he won't get the assistant head coach position because that was given to the defensive line coach. Ryan Nielsen was also given a promotion in terms of he's still a D-line coach, but he was added the assistant head coach term, or assistant coach term was then added to his title with the team. So with that being said, as a way to keep him with the team. and Rushard was going to move back to the tight ends position that was vacated by Matt Campbell, who went to become, not Matt Campbell, Dan Campbell, who ultimately took the head coaching job with the Detroit Lions. So Rushard goes to the position that Campbell had. So he takes that position, and offensive assistant O-line coach Brendan Nugent moves to the O-line position. So Brendan Nugent is going to be the new offensive line coach where Rushard was, and Rushard's going to move to Campbell's former position, the tight end coach position, which he used to do back in 2015. So he has experience there as well. And then Zach Strief comes aboard. That's right. Zach Strief shared the news that he was leaving his position with WWR Radio to join the team as an assistant offensive line coach. Now, Duncan adds that the Saints are likely to promote Nugent to the full-time role, meaning Strief would be working more closely with Nugent than Russard. So Strief coming into the position where Brandon Nugent was. So each guy moves up the rung as it all. So it's all promotional. So you just fixed everything in terms of your tight end position that was open because Campbell left to take the head coaching job with Detroit. That's now Dan Rushard. Brendan Nugent, who was his assistant at the time, assistant offensive line coach, moves up to O-line coach. And then Zach Strief quits WWL Radio to take Brendan Nugent's former position. Makes sense to me, right? Now, Rushard initially coached running backs for the Saints when he was hired back in 2013, having begun with the Saints as tight ends in 2015. He started coaching offensive line in 2016, helped build one of the NFL's best fronts, helping scout and develop draft picks like Ryan Ramczyk and Eric McCoy along the way. Now, as a running game coordinator, he'll likely continue to play a part in the offensive line's construction, though his focus may land on the development of promising second-year tight end Adam Troutman, no doubt about it. That'll be his biggest chore, getting Troutman up to that level, who a lot of people believe Adam Troutman is on line as some of the best tight ends in the business. When he was drafted, they were comparing him to Kelsey of Kansas City and Zach Ertz and guys like that. Even Kittle's out there in San Francisco. They saying this kid has this type of potential. I would love to see that. He handled many different tasks at Michigan State before making the jump to the NFL, so none of this is new to him. He's kind of a jack of all trades. However, it's worth noting that there were a very fluid situation as the Saints finished replenishing their coaching staff. After the hits it took this offseason, job titles will be tweaked as Peyton looks to get everyone into the best position to succeed. So stay tuned for the official word from the team. Unofficial, but that is the word on the street as tweeted by Jeff Duncan and Hines. So with Jeff Duncan right there, you're saying inside baseball, and he does have people that do give him good information as well. So Jeff Duncan saying, hey, this is what's going on, and he's a good purveyor of information when it comes to stuff like that with Saints matters. He won't play around. So as you see, his thought on the matter, and not bad at all if you're Jeff Duncan. So with that being said, the Saints solve three positions. Of course, with that being said, Ryan, how does it? I think Dan Rushard does a good job at the tight end position. I like that move. He was a fantastic offensive line coach, his assistant. Don't know too much about this man, but we'll see how it goes. If he had Rushard as a mentor, hopefully he learned a few tricks or two. And of course, with Zach Strief is a guy that got it from the game up. He's a lifetime Saint guy. Never wanted to go too far. He's some of those guys like a Colston that got drafted with the team, spent their entire professional career with the team, and then took a job in radio after retiring, and now he's back with the team as a assistant helping out the offensive line, which is where he comes from. So he has strong ties. From time to time, they've seen him down there in the facility helping the younger offensive linemen with the game. And Zach Strief, anybody that can who could play as long as Zach Strief played really well for a lot of years. And then he went from doing that to ultimately moving on and into radio and communicated the game very well. He did a very good job at WWL as the doing the games for him every game. Did a good job. Then he goes from radio to teaching the game. So what I'm saying is he's got great communication skills. So he should be able to work well with those offensive linemen. So you're getting that experience, and that's really a plus when you can take former players who had success and then bring them back as coaches to help the team into the future. Hopefully Drew Brees, wink, wink, gets an opportunity or a hint from a guy like Zach Strief to come back to the team. Because truth be told, wouldn't a better move be to offer that job to Drew Brees? Wink, wink. Nobody's saying that. wouldn't it be cool now that it's opening? Shouldn't WWL go to Drew Brees and say, Drew, hey, how about radio? You won't get on television, right? How about radio? You think you can do it? If Zach Strief can do it, why not Drew, right? I'm just saying, just saying. But anyway, that's the news right there we have to share with the family members, Dan, with the little shuffle. This is unofficial, but the word should be coming very soon. So with that being said, let's move on to the final article I wanted to cover before we get into the chat. And it says Saints scheduled meeting with Notre Dame pass rusher. Man, these names are so tough. Just give me a second, fam. Let me see if I can pronounce this man's name right. All right, Adito Kumbo Agungdeji. All right, so we're going to call him AO, man. From now on, butcher the man name. But I've been told Notre Dame defensive end AO has a future meeting scheduled with the Saints. Really talented pass rusher showed off his skill set at Senior Bowl a few weeks ago. Now, one of the 2021 draft prospects who've helped this case at this year's Senior Bowl was AO Agundiji, a defensive end out of Notre Dame who impressed in practices leading up to the annual All-Star game. Now, the Spun's Chris Rovago, my goodness, these names, reports that Agundiji has scheduled a virtual meeting with the Saints, and the Draft Network's Justin Mello added that for now, this is Agundiji's only follow-up interview after contacting all 32 teams at the Senior Bowl in January. Now, Agundiji was an early star at Senior Bowl weigh-ins where he measured up. He's 6'4", 256 pounds. That's good size. 35 1/4 inch arms. Advantage nailing, the physical prototype the Saints have shown a liking to in their defensive ends. Davenport Hendrickson could continue to add muscle at the next level. He improved each year he played in Notre Dame, finishing his college career with 71 tackles, 38 of which were solo, 15 tackles for a loss, and 10 and a half sacks in 30 games played. That's not enough sacks, in my opinion. In 30 games, just 10 and a half sacks? You know, I don't know. But Agundiji is considered a valuable second-day prospect. And I did say, hey, we can use a defensive end that can help out, whether you go into the free agency pool to get it, as we just did our edge rusher show. For those who missed it, you can feel free to go back and watch it. We covered the prospects of free agency, draft, and cap, all that stuff. It's a pretty fun show. And it makes sense for the Saints to put them on their radar. They could lose their sacks leader in free agency, where Henderson should command plenty of interest despite his status as a one-year wonder. Davenport is flirting with the draft bust label after 3 inconsistent injury-plagued seasons to start his career. That leaves the annual Pro Bowler Cameron Jordan and ascendant reserve Carl Granderson, who put for Football Focus credited with 19 pressures, including 5 sacks in 2020, as the only players on the Saints that can really hang their hat on defense, which isn't good enough. No, it's not. You got an aging Cam who had 5.5 sacks last year, and Carl Granderson is getting better, but he's still not there yet. So with that being said, draft picks are drafting these guys, and you can see over the last several days, the Saints have a number of prospects that they're actually looking at. You look at guys like the prospect Levi O'Hare and Agundiji, and of course they had Aleem, Aleem McNeil is another. So the Saints looking at defensive end, defensive lineman. Perhaps that's the move going into the top end of the draft. If the Saints stand pat, that might be what they do. So just to do a quick bounce back, Saints coaching staff shuffles around as Dan Rouchard moves to the tight end coach to replace Dan Campbell. And of course, his assistant, Brandon Nugent, moves up to O-line coach to replace Rouchard. And then Zach Strief comes from WWL Radio to join as the assistant of Nugent. So with that being said, not a bad moving and shuffling. I don't know too much about Nugent, but if he learned anything from this guy, he should be all right. And also then we covered the fact that the Saints scheduled a meeting with Notre Dame pass rusher Agundiji. So with that being said, we'll come back to the main screen, and then we'll continue to go moving forward. So let's see. Big ups to the family members. Thank y'all for chiming in on this episode. We got Tyrese on the line. We're going to bring Tyrese in here and welcome into the show. Brother Tyrese, welcome to the show, my brother. How you doing today? Can you hear me there, Brother Tyrese?
Yeah, I had you muted, my bad.
All right, bro. How you doing today, bro? Welcome to the show.
Doing good. How is everybody doing? That freezing weather was terrible. I had to get my my mom to come over with me because the whole power was out in the apartment complex for 2 days. I walk in there and I'm like, damn, it's the same temperature as outside. It's 20 degrees in there. The carpet is frozen.
Wow.
The carpet frozen, and like you can literally see the fog out of your mouth when you breathe, when you exhale.
That's
I was
terrible.
like, you gotta get out of here.
Yeah, that won't end well, bro. If it's that's not going, that'd have been a bad situation. But that was a good look by you, bro, doing that, bro. So I'm sorry to hear that, bro, but sticking together, that's how we gonna make it through it, bro.
Yeah, I'm just glad that a lot of people in Louisiana area are getting their lights back on. It's something with these energy companies. It's like some of them move fast and some of them move really slow.
Right.
So if you got Demco, I feel bad for you because they got some shit ass energy.
Yeah, it's sad, man. It really is, bro. It really is.
Yeah, seriously. But I'm just glad that people's lights are on. I had a power outage in my new apartment, but it just stayed off for like 10 minutes and it came back right just like that without a hitch.
What part of Texas are you in, Tyrese? What part of Texas you in, bro?
No, I'm in Louisiana. I'm in Baton Rouge.
Oh, in Baton Rouge. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
I ain't
in
know
Baton Rouge.
I ain't know Baton Rouge was having issues with the power out there. I know uh, areas close to the border of Texas, like I think I heard something about Lake Charles having issues. Somebody just said something about what was it, Lafayette or Natchitoches, something like that. I heard spot areas in Louisiana, but I didn't realize But that, I guess you got crazy power companies around. Stuff like that tends to happen.
Yeah, the main ones in Baton Rouge and kind of Louisiana is Demco and Energy,
Hmm.
but Demco's gotten hit hard with the power. I think some other places are still out as they work on it and
Yeah.
whatnot. It's pretty tragic.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, bro. I mean, it's sad, man. This ain't supposed to happen, bro. It's not. The systems are it's supposed to be online, man, and that's what we pay you pay your heavy money for, to make sure those systems are where they're supposed to be. And for all of them to systematically be breaking down like this is really eye opening.
Yeah, it just goes to show that nobody's prepared, for anything.
Yeah.
Last year, this year, it takes a lot of people with big brains to get things moving. A lot of sacrifice. Because I damn sure didn't expect Texas to be out of power. With the landscape that they have, a lot of the power and whatnot. I just hopped on, so I was hearing that they had like an independent. Because I heard the governor governor made a crazy ass statement. He said that Texans would rather be without power than live under federal jurisdiction. I was like, what? Don't you have power? I was like, I'm pretty sure the governor and all, legislation has power and all that. So I
I
was kind of
yeah.
confused.
Yeah, I think they don't really have as much power as you think. They're beholden to other people above them. And I've often said that about a lot of these people, man. They pretend to be for the people. Not saying that all of them aren't, but Texas, if you go back and look it up, Texas at one time was supplying power with several different states. This wasn't too long ago. When they were power was people Texas was powering other people's states that was looking for power. How did it become upside down like that? And then of course you have to.
Selling out, I guess.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on that's really weird, man. And somebody mentioned in the chat there, who said that? Enron. Yeah, about Enron. Yeah, this is and if you see insurgents, if people dealing with the coal, and then you see it come back when you get a spike in your power bill prices, then you know something funny going on. It's not supposed to play like that. If it was an accident or something that they weren't prepared for, then your prices shouldn't jump like that. But if you see an increase of power supply or power prices to your bill, you know something funny going on. And yeah, you're right. That what Enron did. Remember, Enron would play with people. They'll have rolling blackouts and all of them jacking your power prices, and they was playing games with the people. So let us not forget these people. I'm telling you, because the game's still being ran.
Yeah, that's why you got to when you call in, you got to demand credits, or even use social media. Use the power of social media. Because I was looking on Twitter and it said that a few Texans had like $1,000 bills,
Is yeah,
for the
yeah,
power.
yeah.
And I
That
mean, why are you paying a bill when you're not even getting service? You're getting jacked.
But they're about to stick it to the people. Then this is coming. They're about to stick it to the people. They're gonna start playing games. They're about to start sticking it to the people. That's what's that was going. Because I've seen that they did that with Enron, and they did that before. This has happened before. Just we got to have a long memory and understand they're about to start playing games with the people. They're
Yeah, I
about to
mean,
start
people got to
playing games.
wisen up.
And it won't stop. And when it gets warm again, then they're gonna start saying it's issues with when it's too hot. Watch, it's coming, family. They about to start playing games with the people. We got to wake up and don't let them play with us like that. That's all I can say about it, bro. This is ridiculous.
It is, but I'm just glad, you know, you got a lot of smart people who are at least, you know, using their brains,
Right.
you know, to say something. You know, I'm glad that we have Twitter and Facebook. I can just imagine, you know, this happened in like 2005. You know, it's like you'll have to trust, you know, what your news and government saying. You know, but now, I mean, nobody can get away with anything. I mean, like that Ted Cruz guy.
That guy went
I
to
think
the
he got outed for
Cancun.
going to Cancun. Yeah.
I couldn't believe. I said that guy. Well, you say, you know what? The hell with this. I'm going down to the Cancun. And
Yeah, and I thought it
some
was
people were
funny,
saying
man.
that was funny because some people were saying, well, you can't be mad at him because you don't want his family to freeze. But hey, hold on. You representing, that's your constituents freezing their ass off. The people, you got to be fighting for them. At least stay there and show them that you with them. At least, you know, try to do something. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Fight, do something, raise hell, do something. Don't just board a trip and just a flight and go down.
I mean,
You
the
can't
people in
get no
Texas,
more
they're not
jokey
wearing
and funnier
masks.
than
They
this. I'm telling you, they mad as hell, man. The only thing
yeah,
keeping
those
some
people
people
pissed.
warm with their temperature down here. That's a shame, man.
Yeah, man. It's like, you know, I don't know how the temperature is in Texas, but you know, in Louisiana, I mean, like a few days ago, it was in the 20s. You know, 22. You know, I had bust my tire. I bust my front tire trying to drive. I mean, if I hit like a ledge, you know, the rubber of the tire is gonna go over it. But I saw that my tire had ice on it, and I was just trying to rush, and I drove over a ledge, and the tire just bust because of the ice.
Mm.
And I'm just thinking, man, God damn, you
Yeah,
got
be careful on
millions
that
of
road,
people
man.
like that, no power. Like, what can they do? I was just like, holy crap.
Right. Be careful on the roads, family. I also seen that footage, man, of the wreck that happened. What was it? 35 West, 35 South. Which was it? 35. I forgot what it was. It was in Fort, not too far. And Tragic probably know what I'm talking about. He down there, right near Fourth Work. They had that pile up, 135 cars piled up there, and 6 people got killed in that. Then that black ice on the road. And man, y'all be careful on the roads, family. Please be careful.
Yeah, man, you gotta drive slow. It's like just how they tell you, you know, drive slow when it rains, because you know people's, you know, with the climate and the weather here, you know, it's not like you driving with wheels up north and like in the northern states where they're built for that. So you gotta drive carefully, you know, because you're not adapt for it or anything like that.
35 West. There you go. Thank you, Tragic. So I mean, yeah, but Tyrese, bro, I'm glad that you and your family are all right, man, and your mom and all right and everything, bro. So I mean, and like I said before, all the family members out there that's dealing with it, man, just stick together, family. That's what this time calls for. Sticking together, man, and watching out for each other, man. That's what that calls for, bro. That's what it calls for. Sticking together and praying for each other, being strong for each other, sticking together and helping each other in this time of great need, man. We're gonna need to do that a little bit more moving forward.
Yeah, that's all you can do. 'Cause, I mean, if you don't unite, you know, get together, you're just gonna fall apart. Honestly.
Right, right. Yeah, that's what it's about, bro. We got to stick together.
Yeah, pretty much like that GameStop debacle. You know, I was ready for that company to crash and burn. But you know, when they found out Wall Street was doing that, they started buying those stocks up, made them start losing millions of dollars. I mean, it's got to be, you know, coordinated efforts or whatnot, especially with this, because I mean, people give you know, the people unite. Right now, with what's going on in Texas, I mean, they can make big changes, but it's like a lot of people are just, you know, misinformed or don't really understand the political aspect of it, because everything is involved in politics, you know, like it or not.
Yes, sir. It is. It is. Unfortunately, it is. It's all tied up through that, and that's why I said we gotta get really intelligent with that, man. And so we can be able to verse those who think that we're not that, because you know, that it's the time, man. You're gonna start seeing a lot of weird stuff happening from that level. A lot of you've been seeing a lot of weird stuff happening. I mean, I read about a lot of stuff that's happening now, saying, man, the people will wake up by that time that happened. She, some people got to see more, before it go. But I remember reading about this 20 years ago about, this how they, all this in here, it's all documented. So I mean, even the stuff that's happening in the country right now, you're speaking about power plants and energy this and energy that, and what's this about and that, and it all goes to your belief cycle of what you believe in. But like I said, we don't know everything, so I mean, everything that we know, maybe we need to investigate a little bit more and try not to become a red or blue team member. You know what I mean? Let's
Yeah,
stop doing that. Let's get that, because that's really harmful to the people, man. I mean, we don't
yeah.
stop.
Those two parties are,
They are,
those two parties separate, man.
man, they tearing people up, man, fussing and
You know what I'm
complaining.
saying?
But I mean, let's get away from these people. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the people. Screw you with these foolish conversations back and forth about this, that, and the third. The people suffering out here. You know what I'm saying? This is terrible. So I mean, these red and blue team people, man, they are absolutely tearing the people up with all kind. Got the people all kind of ways turned around up in here. It's shame on both of them. It's terrible.
Yeah, because the blue team supposed to have a stimulus check supposed to be coming out. Because I mean, the blue and the red team, they were fighting left and right, to get what they want. And I mean, the red team, they split up because
Fuss,
the president
fussing
not
and
even elected.
fussing and arguing, and it's weird, real weird stuff going on right now. I noticed they ain't even the people that's guarding them ain't even saluting them. I noticed that. I was like, what?
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
I seen a couple. I was watching something with him. He walked past one dude. The dude ain't even salute him. I was like, what is that about? You ain't supposed to not do that. It's weird stuff. I'm seeing weird stuff. The planes don't even look the same that he flying on. Just little weird stuff that I'm noticing. I'm very astute. I'm like, what is going on here? What the hell is going? But something weird going on here. Sooner or later, it'll be shown, man, what's going on. But them red and blue team people are tearing the country up. We need to get rid of both of these people because they don't know what they're doing and they're causing harm to the people. Both of them. They are terrible. They got the people all divided, fighting each other, mad at each other, pointing at each other. I mean, this is terrible, man. This is absolutely horrible and terrible, man. Terrible, simply terrible. I'm not gonna get into political spiel because I'm not a red or blue team person. You know what I'm saying? Because not realistically speaking, none of them ain't really helping the people right now. You can't help the people as a whole. We got problems, man. I mean, you can't keep
Yeah,
it
the chicks and
real.
the bands.
You can't keep it real with the people. They got people out here hurting. They don't care what color you are. If you whatever color you are, people hurting. Hurt don't just go to one side of the thing. Everybody hurting right now, except for the people at the top. And I wonder why the people at the top ain't hurting, because this is the part why it's a wealth transfer. The GameStop people, all that happened with the GameStop people. All that happened. The GameStop people showed them what time it was and how that whole little thing is playing, how they playing games with it. But when they did it, they stopped them from doing it, but the people at the top still doing it. So see, that's why I kept saying, man, we got to keep, and I tell y'all, it's like an onion. Every layer that you pull away, you're going to unwrap scheme after scheme after scheme. I've been telling y'all that for years. I've been saying it's a whole little mechanism. You got to get into the literature and start reading on it. You got to. You can't allow politics or even religion to a degree to separate the people. The people are all children of God. We all here to serve a purpose. We all here to make sure our families are raised correctly, and we don't want nobody rolling over us. I mean, come on, you know that. Don't matter what color you are, where you come from, you know that. Wherever you are, you want the best for yourself and your family. And if you're a good person, you want the next for your neighbor. You don't care what color they is. You want the best for them. That's because you want the best for yourself. You want your children to have the best. You want somebody else's children to have the best. Everybody want to do that, and we don't want to be rolled over. So
Yeah,
that's the commonalities we have to see. Because if you let them people cut you up like this, man, they're gonna be a lot worse than this coming. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, and I keep referring this book for y'all to read. I know it's a big ass book. It's called Tragedy and Hope. It's over 1,400 pages. It's a book I read some years ago. It costs, I forgot, by 40 or 50, maybe $60. It's written by Carol Quigley, who's Bill Clinton's mentor. In that book, that man wrote everything in that book about what's happening today. You read that book, it talk about the banking interests, it talk about every damn thing. Everything, how is a whole plan from how to control the energy on down to the school, getting the taking over the school, having the children stupid as hell, not knowing it. All that's in there, man.
Man, these kids are stupid as hell. I
All
can't
that,
lie.
bro. All that. That is a plan. That is a
Yeah.
plan. You can mess over people that's not intelligent. It's not their fault. Then they talk about the mixing of chemicals, and I don't want to get too deep in it because that's stuff that I cover on Q with Big Q. So if people interested in that, just join the Patreon. Join the Patreon. They got
Oh
shows
yeah, I'm
up
gonna
there.
join your Patreon tonight.
They
I
got
always wanted to do it, but I just get mixed up with work. So
yeah,
I kind of
they got shows on there, bro. There's shows on there I talk about all that on that, family. We cover all that on
really.
there. It's all on there. It's what, over 12 shows on there, talking about stuff with interviews being played, stuff being broke down, all that stuff, man. It's just one book. You don't have to buy a whole library if you don't have the money, because I know it's tight right now. But put your money together and get that one book and get your mind right. And share it with the family members and share it around. I say a book. Don't buy no PDF. Don't do all that. Get you a book, because at any given times, the power, you might not have no power. You might not be able to read off of that tablet. So get a real book there. At least you can go outside in the daylight or whatever, or open your window or whatever and be able to read it. But it's be something you can pass on. You can take pictures of it and whatever you got to do. You can pass it on to the next person. But uninformed people is a people in trouble. That's the whole thing. It's uninforming you and misdirecting you.
Yeah, this
Misinforming
country's
you.
been dumbed down.
It is, bro. You can't take over smart people. Come on now. You can't take over smart people.
Those are the ones that start rioting right there.
Well, see, and that's the thing too, bro. I keep telling people, like I use the Saints down there, and we talk sports. And when I talk about sports, I put life in there because, and just like I said, the family, and when you talk about Saints talk, when I say the Saints, the Saints structure set up where the people fund everything. We pay for the stadiums, we pay for the arenas, we pay for the utilities, we pay for everything. The power flows through the people. If you didn't do that, the team wouldn't function that way because they wouldn't want to pay for their own bills or build their own stadiums. Now, if it really was set up correctly, then the facility or the people would pay for their own buildings, henceforth pay for their own utilities, and all you would do is just go there, buy their merchandise, buy their tickets, pay the park and all this kind of stuff. But it's not set up that way. It's set up where you pay for everything and they get they get all of the money out of it, and all you get is the empty promise of the team being yours. And then when they win championships, you don't get Super Bowl trophies. You got to pay for merchandise with that on there. Now that's wrong. I often said that every person in this state that contribute to the building of that should get something from that apparatus, like it was a stock or something. You're supposed to get a return on that because your money made that happen. And they don't pay taxes. They don't do nothing. That's why when Gail Benson then was going at it with Tom Benson's children, remember that when they were in court and they were saying that she was trying to take over the team, she was giving them wine and not giving them Miss Meds and all that. Remember that? All the children came out against Gail before we knew who Gail was. And we know Gail is a sweet old lady. We know that. But them people there was painting a different picture of Gail. And they were saying that Gail wasn't taking care of them, all this kind of stuff. But anyway, what happened was when they went to court, the children was suing her so that they opened up the books and they was like, listen, this ain't all the money because he took all the cars back from them, put them out of his will. He was still alive at that time, Tom Benson. And then what ended up happening after that is right before he, this not right before, but a little while before he transitioned from this world, those children sued them to open the books. And when they sued him to open the books, he settled with them. Why? Because they did not want you to open the books, so you'll find out what kind of deal you got with the state and the city. And you don't have to open the books to find out what kind of deal the deal is. They don't pay no taxes on that team statewide. They get all of your statewide money. You pay for the hundreds of millions for the practice facility. All of the renovations, the $200 million renovations that's happening to the building, that's coming from you. But you can't get a free ticket to go up in there. You got to pay. You don't get no free merchandise. And people say, well, Q, that's how it is. Nah, bro, chump season is over with, bro. Chump season is over with. Being a chump and a moron and a buster, all that's done for. It's enough of that. They've been chumping you for hundreds of years. It's enough is enough. It's time for us to use this and say, listen, we need to get better. Just like the GameStop people did. They got together as a collective and said, we're going to buy this and make this here. And then we're going to build it up. And then they did a pump and dump pretty much. And then got out big chunks of dough. And they manipulated the game. The people at the top got upset because how dare you manipulate the game? We the ones that do that. You can't do that, so they shut them down. See, that showed you it's a casino where people only the house wins, baby. The house is designed to win, and that's a part of it, man. So I mean, we got to get smart about that thing, man. That's all it come down to. But Tyrese, I'm gonna give you the flow last time, then we're gonna move on, my friend. But I appreciate you chiming in, bro.
Yeah, I kind of forgot what we were talking about because we got into that, but that's pretty much it. That's all I had to say regarding that. Um, yeah, I was just saying, people people have to put, people have to put their race aside, color aside, religion aside, um, and unite behind their nationality. You being an American, you know. And I know the stigma of being American don't really sound all too appealing as to, what has gone on over the centuries and, over these previous years and decades, with the just with everything that's happened, whether it been slavery, whether it been politics, starting wars, or even, these 4 years under Trump, where people are literally having these small civil wars, groups of people just fighting over, over their ideology and all that. People just got to, unite behind being an American, taking care of one another and all that.
That's where it started, man. And we're not gonna always agree on a lot of stuff. And listen, there's a lot of atrocities that have happened to Black family members in this country. I mean, people that come from the African diaspora, or the indigenous family members that were here already prior to anything going down. And there are people from all walks of life. No matter where your lineage takes you from, if you're here and you got people here, you need to work together, because the reality is the evil people that's fomenting all of this division are working together against you, and they don't all look the same. Let me just keep it real with you. Evil people, and like my grandmother, bless her heart and rest in power, always told me when I was a young kid. I didn't give it until I got a little older. She used to always tell me in church that the devil is an equal opportunity employee. And I was like, I don't know. I never did. But later I thought about it. I was like, it don't matter. The devil is not racist. He'll hire or take on anybody that's willing to bow his head to serve him. So if you think about that perspective, understand that if he has multiple different diversities or ethnicities serving him against your betterment, then shouldn't that be the case for you against he and his children? So, like I said, we could talk about the different things that occur between different groups of people. That's true. We need to have that discussion. But the reality is, right now, a grand swell of people need to come together against the evil that's hovering around them in all directions. And that's the reality at the end of the day. But Tyrese, thank you for chiming in, bro. Appreciate you, bro. And much love to you, bro. And excellent, bro. And keep doing great things and be all, my friend.
Absolutely. Y'all as well. Y'all have a good night.
You too, my friend. Appreciate you. That's brother Tyrese, man. One of the young, good brothers that's out there doing big things, man. He had brought his mama with him, and he taking care of his mama, man, in his place, man. And see, that's what I'm talking about, man. A good people. That makes me happy to know we got good brothers and sisters out there that are doing the right things. We don't always have to always sit up here and focus on the negative or those who are lost. But there are a lot of ones that are found that is doing the right thing that we need to shed light and send blessings to, just like we do to those who are lost. So, that's just my perspective, man. It's a tough time for the family members. So, all right, fam, we appreciate Brother Tyrese for chiming in last Saint. If the family members want to jump on in here and, any question, concerns, or comments about the Who Dat Nation, Brother Tyrese just was feeling the stuff that was going on in Texas across the country. And that's all right, man. We healing right now. This is like therapy. The Great Saint Think Tank is the best of the Black and Gold Nation. And I love y'all and appreciate y'all for spending time here in the building. So with that being said, I'm going to give a few shout out to the rest of the family members that's chiming in. Hemisphere, what's up, Hemisphere? Who that to you, fam? Thank you for being here as well. Hayabusa, what's up, fam? Appreciate you being here. Muse of Abysmal Bliss, what's up, baby? How you doing? Big ups to you. Thank you for joining us for this show. Quincy, what's up, Quincy Hanton? Who that to you, fam? 4 boys in the house tonight. All right, Quincy, who that to you, fam? Thank you for joining us as well. All right, who else we got chiming in on this piece here? All right, that I didn't holler at. All right, let's see. I think I got Lori. I think I gave Lori a shout out. If I didn't, who that to you, Lori? Much love. She said it was cold on the North Shore, but we didn't lose power. I was blessed. Thank you, Lori. Who that to you? Good to hear that. Appreciate you. All right. My dog Revolt chiming in from Georgia as well. All right. Brother Tragic, him and his family doing swell up there. All right. Who else we got? Tech Saint says, BQ, the weather in Dallas area today was great. A lot of ice got melted. All right. Thank you, Tech Saint. Good to hear that, bro. Good to see some of that thawing out, bro. Swag fan, who that to you, bro? Good to see Swag fan. And Bill said, man, this is unreal how cold it is back home here in Minnesota. And we dealing with minus 30. Wow. In February on a regular basis, and we still going to work like nothing. It's just hard to fathom how cold. Minus 30 that is ridiculous, man. That is absolutely ridiculous. DLP, what's up, fam? DLP, good to see you in the chat. Farouk, what's up? Farouk Obasi, what's up, brother? Good to see you, Farouk. Long time no see, Farouk. You and DLP, man. Good to see the brothers in the building, man. Much love. All right, what's up, Elmo? Who that to you, Elmo Duncan? What's up, brother? How you doing? All right, big ups to you. All right, KK504 and 44 lady, what's up, baby? She says the malls in Atlanta stay packed. They stay packed in the malls out in there buying it up. All right, Deputy Mario, what's up, Deputy Mario? Good to see you, fam. He said, what a horrible thing is things are hidden from the people in plain sight. Things are not hidden, but people look but are not seeing. Ah, okay. All right, very good insight right there, Deputy Mario, getting deep on him right there. You got to be, what is it? You got to be symbol literate too. I think that's what Brother Deputy Mario is kind of hinting at. Because sometimes things are put in your face, but you don't recognize it because a lot of the people are not symbol literate and understand that we live in a symbol literate society. I make it no secret that my grandfather was a Prince Hall man. I myself didn't join the Masonic Lodge. My grandmother was what was the female lodge she told me about? But she wasn't it for long. You know, she just didn't think it worked with her Christian beliefs. She was a very religious woman. She was a missionary and then a district missionary she was Kojic. She was the Church of God in Christ. And she did that for her entire life. You know, so, you know, we got a lot of good spiritual instruction. And I got a lot of great information from both those people, my grandfather and my grandmother. You know, they had a lot of information they passed on. But one of the things that I realized from my grandfather was that's something that he put in my head about understanding, you know, how society works and here there's a veneer underneath there and how things are not always as they seem. And that you have to be symbol literate, among other things, to be able to decipher what's going on in the world. So what I did was I built my library very young because, you know, I had cousins that I really loved, my family members, cousins I came up with that were getting murdered, friends that were murdered, and I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand why football players and people I was going to school with that were friends and people around the neighborhood that were friends were dying. I didn't understand that, and I started to question that at an early age. And what I got was the answers the Creator said, you want to know? Okay, since you asking with an open heart, here you go. And that's when I started my pursuit of understanding exactly what things was. And my grandfather was one of the people that would reference things to me. And I started to study and learn. And as I got older, I started becoming studying up all kind of books and reading books till my head hurt. I would read big, thick ass books like that until I would turn the TV off for days on end and just read, lock myself in the room and read until I got headaches. And then I would go to sleep, wake up and keep reading again, and then go down there, whatever it was, you know, I had to know. So I think Brother Deputy Mario is making mention of that. Things are not hidden, but you're not looking. You got to know, you know, and that's true. You got to be able to understand that. But if you want the truth, all you have to do is ask with open heart and it'll come to you. That's one thing they can't control the truth in that manner, because most of the stuff is information. Like they tell you about RNA and DNA and say that's genetic information. That ain't the only thing that is. That's not the only thing that is. That's how you get a lot of, they call it premonitions and all this comes by way of that genetic information. You are a culmination not only of the genetic material that from your parents gave to you, but all of the combination of their knowledge and intelligence is in that genetics. And that is activated by your desire, or by you simply vocalizing that you want to know. And I often say that the vibration of your voice is enough to activate the centers in your body to move against infection in your body. And you can speak yourself into a series of wellness, because you have an army inside of you, genetically speaking, that you can activate and tell what to do, and they'll move because you have dominance over them. This is your temple. This is you. And that my grandfather, actually my grandmother would speak about that. So it is what it is. But you get a lot of that, all that information, the culmination going all the way back 30 plus generations or so of information in your genetics that you have access to. All you have to do is have a heart and mind to own it. And I know it sounds spectacular, but listen, this is real deal truth here. Farouk says all the knowledge in the world won't help if you're not willing to go as far as they're willing to go in war. That's right. And it starts genetically speaking, because man, it's just so much, man. It is so much. But thanks for that, Farouk. Thank you, bro. Eastern Star. There you go. That's right. That's right, Farouk. That's what she was. She was an Eastern Star. That's right. And she went in there and did something. She said she ain't like it, and she left. She said, "Oh no, that ain't for me." You know, and I was approached by brothers when I was in high school about it, but you know, that just wasn't my interest. My interest, I wanted the people to have the information. I thought that, you know, if you have that information, you know, and then if the thought process was told to me that you don't cast pearls to swine. And I was like, well, you know, if you got that information and the people need that information so they can get right, who am I to keep it away from them? You know? But people, the truth be told is, if people don't want to know, they simply won't go and look. They'll just go do pop culture and go study stuff that is non-beneficial. But the reality at the end of the day, if you want to know, you'll go and find it anyway, right? So you'll go where it is and you'll get it. Nobody can keep the information from you. It's not theirs to keep away from you. If the most high, the information is ready for you, all you have to be is have an open heart and an open mind and ask for it, and it'll be given to you. All will be given to you. You're talking about a brother that's from the lower ninth ward. That was a result of a public school education talking to you. And I can tell you off top that a lot of stuff that we studying, whether they call it science, which is not really science, is most pseudoscience, because it's not based in theory or fact. I mean, it's not based in fact, it's based on theories or hypothesis, which is an educated guess. We are governed and controlled by theories, which shouldn't be the case, because our scientific instrumentation proves whether or not this is this or this is that, right? So why is it still a theory? It shouldn't just be theories. It should be a fact-based situation. It shouldn't be just theorizing or still stuff based off of theories that came up with over 200 years ago. But see, that's what's given to you, you know, at first, and you have to deem it whether or not that's not good enough. I don't believe that this is that and the third and this. And when you get on that journey, you'll get to the truth. Some people are not ready for it. You have to begin to do it if you haven't already. And that's just my advice to those out there. Trey Joseph, what's up, fam? Big ups to you. DQ the Jew, what's up, fam? Long time no see. A lot of family members I haven't seen in a while. Brother Daryl Hatcher, what's up, Daryl? Who that to you, man? All right, big ups to you, man. Morgan, what's up, fam? See, y'all smart, man. Y'all already know. Eastern Star, Dada, what's up, Dada? Who that to you? Yeah, that's what it is. See, and a lot of them older people, they don't know that. But see, a lot of them were, and they had that information. They have that information. And you think them older people don't know? Them old people old for a reason. They have the world library up in their heads. You just got to talk to them. You got to be able to talk to them. Tragic said my grandfather was born in 1893 and was a native to the land. He was a Mohawk. See, Tragic wasn't in his family members indigenous. A lot of black folk in this country are indigenous to this country. And, you know, that's something that's been revealed, man. When Christopher Columbus even said when he came to the islands, he had a black navigator. I remember reading a journey about his black navigator on his ship called Pietro del Negrito. See, this is years ago. I was studying this stuff. And his black navigator would communicate with the natives of the island. And in there, he spoke about indigenous blacks that were there, and he was able to communicate with them. Long stories long ago, all up into the ancient times, when you go back to the Folsom people or even to the Olmecan culture. This goes back a long, great deal, man. But, you know, just like a lot of people know their culture and heritage, you know, you got to also know yours. So it's a lot of great stuff. And it's good knowing who you are and where you come from, man, you know. But anyway, Swag says, my grandpa made me promise him never to join my any fraternity. He told me that they were all one and the same. Glad I kept. Okay, he told you don't join them. Okay, okay. My grandfather never told me that. That was just a decision that I just felt like, because I was talking to the brothers and I was talking to guys that were up there, and it just seemed like I knew more than them. Because the truth be told, you can actually go buy literature that's teaching what a lot of the brothers is talking about in the lodge. You can even buy literature from bookstores. And you don't have to have any special whatever to buy books that teaches you the jargon and the hand gestures and all that. I mean, there are actually books that are actually for sale for real. I actually own several books by the instruction of my grandfather. I just didn't, I just, the people that I was meeting just didn't seem like they knew us, and I know it just wasn't, I just didn't do it, man. It just wasn't for me. All right. Farouk says the ancestors live within us. That's right. That's right. Them genetics, bro. That's what it is. Ramsey says, what's up, Ramsey? Who that to you? KK. She said, I didn't know you was a nerd. That's what I am. I'm a big old Saints nerd. I'm a nerd. Okay, I got you. I love you too. I appreciate you. Ramsey says, Big Q, the Bible tell us to ask your father and we'll reveal to you what you want to know. Thank you. That's what it is. I agree. A muse of abysmal bliss and intelligence is attractive. I'm a nerd. There you go, Bebe. That's what I'm talking about, Bebe. Who that? All right. Kenny, what's up, Kenny? Who that to you, Swag fan? He said, I don't like having someone else over me. That's why I didn't join the military. Okay, well, yeah, some people are like that. Some people like that. My grandfather did tell me, he was an army man, and he did tell me, don't go there. That's my grandfather told me that, and he was an army man. He was an army man, 20 plus years in it. Latrell, what's up, fam? That's right. Yes, we are live, bro. We are live. I know Latrell be getting confused, but yes, sir, we are live. All right. True Hurt says, I'm sure he did. He had the mask on. I knew it was him as soon as he said it. All right. Trey Joseph and the rest of the family members. Appreciate all y'all for being here, man. Much love to all y'all. Rose says, that's one thing, if the Lord allows me to live older age, that I have my right minds and blessings there. And Trey Joseph, you should have told him to join the Great Saint Think Tank. There you go. That's where we are. We up in the Great Saint Think Tank. So listen, family, I appreciate y'all, man. And listen, we're going to keep going. We're 77 minutes into it. I want to be able to open up the lines of communication. If you look at the top of your chat, there's a pinned comment there. There's a link in that comment. If you want to get on to talk about the Saints, or, you can see we talking about a little bit of everything today. But look, feel free what's in your heart. I know a lot of family members are out there hurting, dealing with the cold, and blessings to all of the family members, whether they're in Texas or just like you heard one of the family members dealing with minus 30 degrees in Minnesota. This is really tough times right now for the family members. And I love y'all and appreciate y'all. And listen, I'm praying for everybody, and let's just send those prayers all the way around. You don't have to be you don't have to be the Pope to pray for somebody, or to say, they ask the Creator to give blessings, because we all need that from time to time. So all prayers and blessings, I send it to you guys right now, all across the Who Dat Nation that's dealing with some really difficult times, whether they be weather or health wise, or family wise, or money wise, because I know a lot of family members are impacted by the C-19 stuff, removing their jobs. A few brothers in here as well, and sisters in here that's dealing with that as well. So blessings to not just for everybody, for all of the tough stuff that we're going through right now. Blessings to all of you guys, prayers to all of you guys, positive energy to all of you guys moving forward, because listen, these are just small obstacles. We'll make it through this, and there are big blessings on the other side of these obstacles. I promise you that. We don't just go through stuff for nothing. It makes us a stronger force, and together. So blessings to everybody, and peace, blessings, love, and positive energy to all the people out there. You know what I'm saying? So much love to you guys. So with that being said, family, if you want to pop in, a link is in the chat. When you hit that, it's pinned at the top of the chat. You can hit that link and you can pop up on the show, and we'll go to it. Now, some of the things that we covering today in terms of the Saturday Saints Talk, as we talked about the shuffling of the offensive line coaches. Now you got Zach Strief coming aboard as the assistant offensive line coach, as coach, what's what's his name? Coach, the assistant coach that was under Coach Rouchard. Let me get the man's name correct. Brendan Nugent. Nugent was Rouchard, Dan Rouchard was the O-line coach, and Brendan Nugent was his offensive assistant. Well, Rouchard's taking Dan Campbell's tight end position. Campbell left to be the head coach of Detroit. So Coach Rouchard's moving from the O-line coach to the tight end coach. And then, of course, you have his assistant, which was Brendan Nugent, moving from the assistant offensive line coach to the offensive line coach, and Zach Strief coming from radio to take Brendan Nugent's assistant position. So with that being said, you had a lot of promotions happening right there. That's the latest news and notes there as well. And of course, we talked about the fact that the Saints are looking at several defensive line prospects, a couple of defensive ends, interior linemen, in anticipation of losing guys like Sheldon Rankins and Trey Hendrickson, and possibly Malcolm Brown to being released to open up cap space. The Saints are looking at various defensive line prospects, whether they be edge rushers or interior linemen. So with that being said, that kind of gives some insight on exactly what you anticipate the Saints looking at as they're doing their due diligence. Right now, it could be interesting to see whether or not the team tends to go in that direction. Now, I often said over the last few shows the family members have seen, I've covered and did the Outlook shows talking about the defensive line, in particular talking about the fact that we could. But listen, it's a possibility, a big one, that you can lose Trey Hendrickson. He can be outpriced. Sheldon Rankins, you can lose him. So with that being said, and Malcolm Brown could be a cap casualty. So with that being said, defensive line position, you got an older Cam Jordan who wasn't effective last year. He played every game, but got like 5.5 sacks last year. The year previous than that, he was in double digits. So, he's getting older. So you're going to need to eventually look at this man, 10 years as a Saint, man. Cam done reached a decade being here. He's getting old. It's time to start looking at a person that could possibly you can bring on the team that can, that can provide depth. Now, that don't have to necessarily be a draft pick, a defensive end that you take, although I think it'd be smart to do that because your money funny. But you can take a defensive line or a defensive end in the draft and groom him behind Davenport, because Davenport hadn't given you a full season since he's been here. So he'll provide insurance in case Davenport gets hurt, and he'll also provide a future defensive end prospect behind Cam Jordan, who's getting older. So I think defensive end makes a good move. Now, when we did the previous defensive edge rush show, we covered a lot of that. We went in depth into detail, and we talked about the Saints' money. We also talked about players that'll be in a price range that if you wanted to get a young veteran, and what I mean by young veteran, I mean a guy that's north of 25 years of age, 26, 27, a guy that's between 25 and 30 years of age, or 29 years of age. And it has several possibilities that the Saints had that they could use in free agency if they're smart with their money once they cleared and got a surplus from the cap, that you can then go reach and get some of these guys in free agency. And one of them was Tack McKinley. Another guy was DeMarcus Walker, who played with Denver. He had like 9 sacks last year. And then you had Kerry Hyder, who's a defensive end from the San Francisco 49ers, who had multiple sacks last year as well. So in most of these players that I'm speaking of, last year made less than $3 million. So if you sign these guys, you can be able to, even if you doubled them and say I give you 5 for a 2-year contract at $10 million or whatever, and it's $3 or $4 million a year, you be doing a positive thing and getting a young veteran to come on the team who don't have that learning, that long curve as a rookie. Do you see what I'm saying? So regardless of that, the Saints, the team as a whole, will not look the same moving forward, obviously, because of the fact we Super Bowl and busted, which means that in order to get $60+ million underneath the cap, you're going to have to do some serious stuff to do it. And, if you remember, if y'all go back to the show, family, I did a show in which I used the tool from Sport Track to be able to show you how to get all that done. And I had to do, it was 19 maneuvers to get underneath $60+ million. It started at $70+ million, and we had to work $70+ million minus 70 now, minus 70 back up to just to get to zero, and then to get the surplus just so you can have enough money to sign draft picks and, to sign a cheap veteran or two and then have a surplus of 3 or 4 million just in case. You don't want to just spend all your money and go into the season with no money. So it's not an easy endeavor. And most certainly to get up to that point when I got like $15+ million after doing that. And if you look at it, the crazy part about it is it took me releasing Emmanuel Sanders, Malcolm Brown, Latavius Murray, restructuring contracts of Cam Jordan, I released Teron Armstead. He was another one. Tommy Morstead got cut. Restructuring of Will Lutz contract, restructuring of Mike Thomas, restructuring of DeMario, it was several contracts that I had to restructure, several players I had to release just to get the money down. Then I had to we had to extend out both Laddie Daddy and Ryan Ramczyk, give them contracts because both of them are making $10+ million in their final years on this year. So you would have to give them a contract and giving them an extension and then drop their base salaries in 2021 to less than $2 million, in my opinion. Then, of course, there'll be a step increase on the length of the contract. Ultimately, the back end of the contract will have the biggest amount of money. So with that being said, that was one of the things that we had to deal with. So it's going to be very difficult, to say the least, to climb out of the hole and get to where we need to be. And it's going to be most interesting, but most certainly, and rest assured that this team will not resemble the same team that we looked like last year. I'm just going to keep it real. Sheldon Rankins, Trey Hendrickson could be priced out. Now, bear in mind that the tag could be used. You could use tags, and I've been hearing a lot of the talk around the NFL. They're saying that this will be a heavy tag year where a lot of NFL teams are going to be using tags to retain talent. Case in point, Denver tagging Justin Simmons, the all-pro safety, which is one of my favorite safeties in the league. No, actually, it's my favorite safety. Justin Simmons is a beast. I wish we had Justin Simmons as a Saint. But there's words on the street is that he could be a possible tag candidate, as well as several other interesting people. Word on the street with Dallas Cowboys country is that that could be a possibility for Dak Prescott if they don't find the right player with him. So very weird stuff happening, but this is most certainly not a regular year. So with that being said, it's going to be interesting on so many levels, man, to see exactly what happens moving forward with the Saints in this upcoming season. Of course, we still waiting for the ever present and omniscient Drew Brees to step away from the rings. There's rumors on the street saying that he's negotiating with the Saints to come back. I don't know how true that is. I heard people was telling me that. I don't know how true that is, family. I covered last night the original organic plan was for Drew to play one season, which that one season was last year, the season that just passed, and that he's supposed to pass the torch. The term was pass the torch to Taysom, so that Taysom takes over the team into the future. That obviously wasn't the case, as Sean Payton some kind of way decided on trying to get Drew Brees to stick around, which in my opinion shows a lack of vision, because you can't keep running out here a 40-plus-year-old quarterback out on the field with several injuries that required surgery, and say, Drew, take us to the Super Bowl with a significantly reduced talented team, less talented team. He won't have the same talented team that he had this past season. The window of opportunity for us to go to the bowl was last year. You had your most slam-packed, jam-packed team. With that being said, it makes no sense for Drew to come back to a less talented team to talk about winning the bowl, when Tampa Bay already saying that they're about to tool up for the final run with Tom Brady. No, this is last year there. They're talking about getting heavy hitters already. And, of course, you got younger, stronger competition coming from Carolina and all these other teams. I don't want to be the old man on the block. You got to be able to have the vision to be able to build the team moving forward. And Drew Brees deserves to go to the Hall of Fame. Let's let Drew start that track. Let him start on and get to the Hall of Fame. Let's not keep holding him here. The man it's just, where's the vision, family? We got to have the vision to move this thing forward. All right. Let's keep going here. Swag said that's why I would call him Minneapolis, St. Paul, not Louisiana. Anthony says, so it's step up having Streif in the position. That he's loyal, who that family guy. Yep, and I like that move, man. I really do like the move of Zach Streif getting there. Y'all are deep, man. Look at y'all. Look at the KK and 504 and 404 lady says Baton Rouge. Red Stick says Indian Red Mud. And my grandma used to talk about that too, about family members being Indians. And a lot of people realizing their lineage now are really working their way back to see that we was kind of beguiled to a certain degree. Not everybody came over on those boats, that like they say in history, they kind of forgot that they were already here, people that were already here, and that we were misplaced in history. All right, Okula, what's up, Okula? And I like I shared with y'all some time ago the story about the Tea Party story, where the guy was dressing himself up like an Indian, and then he went to the coal, what was it? He went to the shop. I forgot what the name of the person he went to, but he went there to get cold to put on his face. And that was in history. You can actually research that, the story of the Tea Party story, when they would draw all the tea off the boats in the Tea Party back in the 1800s. And you got to remember, and I was teaching that story to my children because I was going over the school homework, and I was reading it to them, and it showed. I was like, "What Indian, put coal on? If you dressing like on the Indian, you got the hatchet, you got the clothes. That should be good enough, right?" But he put coal on his face. And I said, you got that? Visualize that. Why you putting coal on your face? Huh? What are you trying to look like? So, that's in there. You just have, like Deputy Mario say, you just got to be a student enough to pay attention to it. But that was misplaced in history for obvious reasons. But it's easily uncovered. You just have to have the spirit to look for it. But thank you for that. All right. Trey says, I like that Q. Our offensive core aside from our hole on the line is top tier, or could be more of an X defense is the wave. Yeah, interior and promotions is something that, you would want to do. If you're a successful outfit, when you're promoting assistants from inside of the organization, is showing that that's a progressive organization, as opposed to every now and again, you might have to go outside the organization to find somebody like the Saints did with Coach Richard, which I think he was a very good addition at the secondary level to get him there. He'll bring something. He's a very professional dude, really intelligent coach, serious. He was a former player, and he's a dude that will come in and work with the secondary. And I think there'll be no drop off in production. Actually, I would say they'll have improvement there with Coach Richard over the secondary unit, where Aaron Glenn had for 4 years. So, with that being said, sometimes you do have to go outside the building, but it does feel good to see players like Zach Strief go back home, so to speak. And hopefully Drew Brees does that as well. Instead of trying to take the NBC job, hopefully Drew takes the WWL job and goes there and sit next to Deuce McAllister and call the games. That would be the perfect fit. That would be the perfect fit, in my opinion. Thank you for that, Trey Jones. Appreciate you, bro. All right, Tragic says, hold on here. Tragic says, okay, it jumped on me there. Okay, he says, okay, who that's be representing the fullest in the DWF? All right. All right. Josh says, what up, Q? What's up, Josh? Who that to you, bro? Good to see you in the chat. Muse says, clear his throat gently. I believe the word native is preferred over Indians. Indigenous seems more appropriate. What do I know, though? No, you saying it right, Muse of Bliss. I mean, Abysmal Bliss. You're absolutely right. We tend to use indigenous, and some people say Indian. Some people don't take Indian as an insult. Like my grandmother, she didn't take Indian as an insult. And I guess it's whoever you're talking to. You know what I mean? But no, your opinion is very valid there. I appreciate that. But some people say native, some people say indigenous. I know the really favorite term is indigenous. But my grandmother and older people I knew did not find Indian as a insult. They didn't see it as such. But that's just my my thoughts on it, being that from the old people. All right, let's see. Let's keep it going. Anthony says, I'm 1-8 Pawnee Indian, got family in Oklahoma, but I'm in Southern Cali. Pawnee Indian. Okay, all right. See, a lot of people in here. Wolfgang said, I'm 100% indigenous American. All right, Wolfgang, what's up, fam? All right, Tragic says, Malcolm X said, and Elijah Muhammad taught that we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. He did say that. That is true. KK50444 later says, I'm 100% not from Africa. Sorry, not sorry. My folks are. Okay, thank you. KK50444 lady. She says Choctaw. Okay, all right, all right. All right. We talk about Geechee and Choctaw, and it's so many different groups. It's really interesting to say the least when you start studying it and going back into it. Really interesting. She says, where are the slave ships, but they find dinosaurs 5,000? That is a great thing, man. That is a great question, right? Where are the ships? Well, more accurate information is coming out showing that, a lot of that was misrepresented, in the amount of numbers of the people or whatnot. I mean, I could share some stuff that I've uncovered from years of doing my research, but you'd be like, ain't no way, Q. So, I mean, plus this is not really the forum for that. And I start talking that kind of way, you'd be like, what? But certain things. Now, I mean, if I start telling you the maps is wrong and all this kind of stuff, you be, well, hey, if I tell you maybe that certain massive lands or continents are not as far as you think they are, and all this kind of stuff, then stuff people start looking at you funny. So I'm just maybe in another forum we'll get into it. Who That for Life? What's up, Who That for Life? What's up, fam? How you doing? He said, do you really think Drew will come back? Well, no, bro. I don't think Drew will come back, bro. But I know rumors on the Saint Streets are saying that he could be negotiating. Anything is possible, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everything and anything is possible when you talk about that, bro, because the truth is told. It's like, okay, Q, he signed a 4-year deal with 2 playable years. But you have to, if you go back and look it up, and, and I went and, and looked up the shows when I was covering it, because I was covering articles, and I was sitting up there thinking to myself, I was saying, you know what? Drew Brees he was going to retire last year, and Sean Payton, really begged him to come back. So I was like, you know what? I don't know, if you're Drew. And Drew took his time. Remember, he had to talk to his wife before he decided to come back, and he was on vacation. He made the choice, but he took like a couple of weeks to decide that. But I really thought he was done last year, really and truly, seriously. I did. And then the Saints built the team for a final run at the playoffs, and they failed in the second round to a team we beat twice by double digits, which that was the best chance we had. And I just don't think it's a good look. Look at what teams with vision are doing, is what I'm saying. You look at teams like the Rams, and regardless of your thoughts on the Rams or not, the Rams are going for the gusto. They traded their quarterbacks and picks for a guy they believe take them to the next level. And truth be told, the Rams have been doing pretty good drafting. They got Cam Akers there, terrific running back. The little other running back behind him. Wide receivers are pretty good. Defense is one of the best in the NFL. They got a great kicking game. One of the best punters in the league, and Hecker. And then you got Stafford sitting on top of the team, and then they'll improve upon it by draft picks or whatever they got left. And they're a fantastic team nonetheless. And you look at teams with that kind of vision, you'd be like, wow, they're swinging for the fences. Look at what Indianapolis did with Carson Wentz. Whether you like Carson Wentz or not, they believe that they can win with him. And the problem with Carson Wentz at Philly is he lost his confidence. He didn't feel he lost out. So when I say that, you look at Indianapolis, you look at the Rams, these teams are going for the gusto. They're going all out. They're trying to make things happen. And we just keep sitting here saying we waiting for Drew Brees to come back. That is not a good look. Why aren't you going after some of these quarterbacks that can take you past one more year of Drew Brees with a lesser talented team? You're not going to have the same team as you had this previous. You only the best you could do was a second round knockout. You was on the wrong end of the knockout. You was on the wrong end. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers was Mike Tyson, and your ass was anybody not named Buster Douglas. So I mean, it just don't show nothing. Now, if Russell Wilson is available, or Aaron Rodgers is available, or somebody of that ilk, go get them. Why are you waiting for it? Talk to the teams. Let's make some moves. It shouldn't be sitting here waiting for Drew. Drew has to have surgery, man. Matter of fact, when the season was over, he had surgery. He had to have surgery on his foot. He had to have surgery on his shoulder. And you talk about bringing this man back. He's gonna be 43 years old, man. Bringing Drew Brees back up in here, talking about trying to win a Super Bowl with a less talented team. Absolutely insane, man. The only way I want Drew to return is in an advisory capacity. With him on as an advisory, like telling them or helping them with the offense. That's the only way. I do not want Drew Brees to come back as a quarterback because it will not work. It will not work. I'm not saying that Drew can't get you into the playoffs because I think any of the quarterbacks that you have, Taysom Hill or Jameis, can get you into the playoffs because the team will be talented. But outside of like a Super Bowl appearance, he can barely get out of trouble. It's just his time is up. And he said it himself. He says, I'm on, what Drew's words was, and pertaining to the clock. I'm on borrowed time. Well, guess what? Time's up. He played for 20 plus years, man. You can't continue to ask him to play even more. It's a physical game. He got his ass whooped last year. And you talking about go up in there and get tortured again. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Drew Brees needs to go. He needs to go and get ready for his Hall of Fame run. Let him go take the WWL job or go work for NBC. But absolutely not. I don't think Drew should come back. I mean, for his own health and his own sake, I say no. So, but I'm looking around. I'm like, man, why? It's just no vision, man. It's no vision because it's no pressure on him to do anything. He could just sit there and be an asshole all the day if he want. Nobody forcing him to do nothing. Only people that's talking and putting pressure on him is us. Nobody else is it's just. He too comfortable, family. He too comfortable sitting up there. Too comfortable. Not enough pressure is being applied. All right. Thank you for that. Who that for life? Appreciate you, bro. Wolfgang says, my family is Gullah. Okay. All right. Andy says, burn the illegal husbands, burn slave ships. Farouk says, I'm 98.8% Yoruba on my mother's side. All right. Farouk. All right. Swag says, the Nina Pinta and the Santa Maria. Y'all naming the ships. Y'all deep in history. Talking about I'm a nerd. Damn, I ain't the nerd. Y'all. Y'all know. Muse says, I was adopted by Anglo mom and Hispanic dad, and I'm an active member of biological family, Sioux, German, Irish, and French, 100% American. That's right, U.S. There you go. That's how you look at it, baby. That's all right. KK50444 lady says, Louisiana news is Saints news, Big Q. We good on all levels of talk. There you go. All right. All right. Tyrese says we need to release PJ and let Keith Washington play his role. I think PJ Williams shouldn't come back. I think Ken Crawley shouldn't come back. I think Patrick Robinson needs to come back. You don't need to come back. I think we need to go into free agency and find some talent there and draft guys as well in the draft. I really do. And they'll have some interesting cornerbacks that are veterans that'll be available that we can bring on this team. Let's give Coach Richard some talent to work with. Let's not give him some has-beens like P.J. Williams, Patrick Robinson, and an awful Ken Crawley before you walk it. I know that means the end of the Dollar Tree Quartet, but for the good and the betterment of the team, let's keep it going. All right. Tori, what's up, Tori? What's going on, brother? How you doing, Tori? Welcome to the stream, bro. All right, we're going to go on a few more minutes, family, before we transition. Also, just to let the family members know, tonight we're doing a special stream on our Pelican post-game report tonight. We'll be doing that for a couple hours. We'll be Q&A and stuff like that. Me and DC will be in the building doing Pelican talk tonight on the Pelican post-game report. So if you're a person that loves the Pelicans, feel free to come on over to our Pelican post-game report platform. The link is in the description section below. We'll be talking all things New Orleans Pelicans. And right now we're working on getting one of my favorite beat writers that cover the Pelicans out here. And it'll probably be either Tuesday or Thursday of next week on the Pelican post-game report. We'll let you guys know one of my favorite beat writers, inside men that know the Pelicans, that can give us some answers of what's going on from an inside perspective. We'll have that coming up next week, just to let the family members know on that little programming note. So I'll go over a few comments and then we'll end the stream on that. And I appreciate so much you guys being here and spending your Saturdays with me on this one here, man. It was fantastic talking Saints talk with you and life talk, but you know how we do, baby. All right, let's keep it going there. Appreciate you. All right, let's see who else we got there. Let's see. Brother Jerry says in his Steve Carell voice, no. All right. Anthony says, pull the injured player, plug and play the healthy playmakers, Jameis to Deontay. Duh. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate you there, bro. All right, as well. But listen, that's the talk on the street that we are getting is that rumors are spreading that Drew Brees is contemplating coming back another season. Now, I hate to say Sway come on here and say, I told you so, but it's still very much unofficial right now. And we'll find out really soon. And there'll be a lot of happy people, and there'll be like people, oh no, why? And I'm saying, and I'll be one of those people like, oh no, why? Because you're not going to have the same team in place. The most talented team that he had was last year. You're not going to be able to have that talented team in place. You're going to be less talented, and whether you bring in draft picks or free agents, they still need time to build the team up. And our great best shot was last year. We knew that coming into it. When we started the year off, it's like, this is the Super Bowl or bust. Well, if you didn't win the Super Bowl, you got busted. Busted mean your team is getting busted up because it can no longer afford to keep that amount of talent on this rendition of the team. That's just what it is. So I mean, it's just what it is, family. I would not be happy to see Drew Brees climb back up into the QB position again. I'm sorry. I just really, hopefully I don't want to see that, but we'll see. Matt Peterson, what's up, Matt? Is there any news? He says, are there any new coaching staff at all? Are there new coaching staff at all? Well, we covered early in the show, the fact that Dan Rushaw, who's the former offensive line coach, is moving to the tight end coach. That bit of information was leaked by Twitter by Jeff Duncan, who said that he heard from the grapevine that Dan Rushaw, who's the offensive line coach, is making a move to the tight end position. Tight end coach, which was the position that Campbell had before he left to Detroit. So he'll take over the tight end position, and Dan Rushaw's assistant, which was, I keep forgetting the man's name. Oh, crap, I keep forgetting him. I'm going to have to remember his name. Brendan Nugent, which was Rushaw's assistant offensive line coach, becomes the O-line coach. And Zach Strief moves to become the assistant of Nugent. So, I mean, that's a bit of news as far as the coaches are concerned. No other moves in terms of filling in the staff. The linebacker, what was the assistant special teams coach that Will Holt left to take in the Chargers. All right, let's keep it going. I appreciate that question there. All right. Wolfgang said, I think we need better wide receivers. Thank you. Anthony says surgery involves scars and scar tissue and rehabilitation. That is correct. And you're 40-something years old, you're going to heal a lot slower. KK says, full lady says, why Wolf is not the wide receiver. Your QB can't get the ball to them. She sounds like a comeback Drew fan. Dada says, Drew coming back would be a laughing stock to our division. Who the hell fears Brees now? Anybody? Mew says, I'm not disagreeing about your perspective on Brees becoming an announcer. I think so. He wants to be an announcer, right? Why not take the job that Strief just left? Why? Go to WWL and be affiliated with the Saints. That would be a perfect fit. It's just whether or not he accepts the money that they offer him. Brian, what's up, fam? Says, we as Saints fans owe Drew Brees as many more seasons no as he wants. This man revived our team, and that you will never hear me talk down on him playing another season with us. And Brian, we do elevate Drew to another level. He's the greatest quarterback we ever had. What greater honor could we give Drew but to invite him to become a Hall of Famer? That's his last great thing that he can do for the Who Dat Nation. To come back and play on this less talented team, in my opinion, would not be a good look. But, he'll do whatever he wants to do, and Peyton will welcome him back, obviously. So we'll just see. Appreciate your insight there. GM Kev, what's up, fam? He says, Q, did you sleep right? Yeah, I got some winks. All right. It's all right, brother Jerry. It's all good, bro. Don't worry about it. All right. KK504 and 448. She about to She about to go in on Brian. There we go. She's, no, we don't owe Drew. You got to put the head roll into it. Like when she's saying it. See, look how she texted in there. And she said, no, that's how she did it. She says, no, we don't owe Drew nothing. Tom Brady won 6 rings for New England, and he was out of there with Drew. You got to put the neck roll and the attitude in there because that's how she hit him with it. Swag fan says Breeze has his shots and blew it. Kick rocks, Drew. Brian, we get what you're saying, man. Drew Brees, you can't never take nothing away from Drew Brees. And that's truth be told. You can't take anything from Drew. Drew's gonna go in there. He got the records, and probably next year Tom Brady will take him from him. He'll finish second all time to Tom Brady. But the reality is, he's a Hall of Famer, and he did it predominantly as a New Orleans Saints. The greatest accomplishment moving forward is that he goes in as a first ballot Hall of Famer as a New Orleans Saint. He goes into the Hall as a Saint, and that's a great honor. And Drew's given you everything he can. He's been in the league for 20 plus years, been in the city of New Orleans for well over a decade. He's done a terrific job for the Saints. He was the model of, he was an impeccable community player. He had his few little issues that went on, but he was a really good dude. And, you know, Drew Brees' legacy, it can never be smeared or marred or anything. He's a fantastic individual. He raised a beautiful family. He's made hundreds of millions of dollars. So we as an organization has given Drew Brees everything that he could possibly have and more. So with that being said, I'm going to finish out on a few of these commentaries, and then we're going to end the stream. All right. Dada says, you're right, we owe Brees. Dada says, you're right, we owe Brees nothing. Actually, he was just doing his job when he got paid over 300 million, bro. That Drew made over 300 million from the Black and Gold organization. He came in and he lived up to every measurement. Drew overachieved on many different levels. So I don't think you could take anything from Drew Brees. He's earned everything, and he's gonna go down as the greatest that ever walked in the Black and Gold Nation. I don't know what greater honor you can bestow upon him than that, you know. So I guess to each his own, you know. All right, let's keep it going. Farouk said Drew signed a contract with NBC. Let's see if he go. KK44 and 504 and 44 lady says, I'm a New Orleans Saints fan, not Drew Brees fan. Please don't confuse the two. Who that, baby? Look at her. She got still rolling that neck around. All right, Slick Rick, what's up, fam? He says, honestly, Drew wasn't as bad as people put it. No, he wasn't. He wasn't, bro. And it was a collective, you know, as well. But the reality is, that was a slam-packed, jam-packed team, and the best we could do was 2 rounds. Get to the second round. That's not going to work. We got to do better than that. So with that being said, fam, we're going to keep it going. And all right. All right, Tyrese, all I know, we bet not draft an O-line. Muse says, Giggles Q said she did that head roll. I've been telling you, you got to put the attitude up and down when she telling all Pro Brian. Pro Brian ain't know what he was in for. When she putting them, you can't, when somebody's talking to you with attitude, see, when they got, you can tell, you know, they got energy in just in typing of the words. You know what I'm saying? Don't you? You know when you texting when somebody upset or not, when they got some passion, you know, and that's just how clever we got as a people of dealing with texting. And when you labeling, you can feel the energy from her text. And I can tell you ain't nothing but head roll action going around. All right. Slick Rick said Drew also didn't get much help from the wideouts. I don't know, bro. He had 40 plus catches from Emmanuel Sanders. And of course, he took his shots when he needed to. I can't put all that on Drew Brees. I'm the guy. I don't put it all on Drew Brees. I ain't that dude. You know, I'm on record for that. I'm on record for that. He threw 4 interceptions in that matchup. That's true. I mean, what was it? 3 interceptions in the game. Yeah, that fumble was a turnover. But you got to look at it too as well. It's a complete effort. The Saints just didn't come to play in that game. The defense should have stopped at least 2 of those touchdown drives that they had on their side of the field. The Saints defense, as good as they were, should have prevented and made the Tampa Bay Buccaneers kick field goals on at least 2 of those turnovers. That didn't work. So ultimately what ended up occurring was they lost as a team, you know, and that's a major part of it. And of course, the guy that sits on top of the head of the team deserves as much credit or blame as anybody. Because if you see people out there struggling, you have the power to relieve them of their duties. And Sean Payton didn't do that. And the media will not say that. They will not say Sean Payton should have pulled Jared Cook. You hear Big Q saying that. You hear the Great Saint Think Tank saying that. Is that when you seen Jared Cook alligator arm the ball, when you seen Jared Cook not protect the ball running across the open center of the field and the guy pokes it out, he should have been pulled out of there. He didn't come to play. I noticed it. And so did the Great Saint Think Tank. But Sean Payton didn't notice it. He let him keep out there stinking it up. And you gotta pay attention to these players to see who got it, who don't got it. And if the guy doesn't have it, his ass is coming up off the field. I want guys that are prepared to play. And if you're not prepared to play, your ass is coming out of the goddamn game. And Jared Cook, who got $16 million for the Saints in 2 years out there, hurt the piss out the Saints. We could blame Drew all we want, but that goddamn the 10 man was an absolute joke of epic proportions in that playoff game. A guy that damn old, fumbling and stumbling and bumbling around in that, man, that Sean Payton should have pulled the cord on that guy. He should have pulled him and said, nah, that's enough. We're going to put somebody in there that really wants to play. But you'll never hear him talk like that. You'll never hear him talk like that. All right. James says Sean Payton wasted some of Drew's greatest years by not investing in the. That is absolutely true. That is true. He says, on with him being so offensive minded, Drew gave us a lot. We need to respect that. It wasn't up until really the last 4 to 5 years that the Saints got serious to start investing in the defense. Remember those awful Rex Ryan years where they had the good defense at front, and then he mean mugging a dude, the dysfunction, and I mean, come on, how you mean mugging a grown ass man, bro? I mean, you tell me what person does that? Who mean mugs a grown ass man, bro? You know, you mean mugging a grown ass man, bro? I mean, seriously, bro. You didn't like that when Adrian Peterson was doing that to your stinking ass. But you gonna do it to Rob Ryan? But I mean, it just all kind of ways was terrible. And he still ain't learning nothing. He still ain't learning. He ain't gonna give up the play calling duties to Pete Carmichael and focus on other aspects of the team. He won't do it because he's a micromanager. And that's the main reason why the team keep fumbling and stumbling and will not reach the highest levels that we supposed to, because this guy is not listening to people to pull on his coattail. He don't want you to do it. He got all the answers and he knows about it. Sean Payton knows. And they have these jackass DS and reporters out there that's writing articles why Sean Payton knows everything and you don't know anything. Shut your stupid, goofy, garbage, dumb DS and ass up. Excuse me. These reporters, you know, and that's a big war. It's just me smashing down on Payton too when he wrong, but also smash the hell out of them reporters that be doing that DSing. You know, listen. My wrath is unbounded. My wrath is unbounded. If you doing some goofy, silly, garbage ass stuff, I'm gonna plaster your ass out here. I'm just sorry. I don't care if you the running back, the star running back, the wide receiver, the star defensive, and y'all know, like what old boy said from the Clayton Thomas skits. Anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. But listen, man, Brian said, let them talk. Drew will prove them all wrong next season. He says, just a shame to hear all the Breeze slander as of lately after all he did for us. No, you can't look at that, Brian. Listen, bro, Breeze is a grown man. He can take it, bro. Trust me, he can. He got 300 million reasons why he not garbage, okay? I can't say it no better and clearer than that. He got over 300 million reasons why he not garbage. So, I mean, let people vocalize how they feel. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it to heart, man. Don't take it to heart like that. It's okay. You know, people coming from a different position than you are coming from, just be open-hearted to that. You know, just like they're being open-hearted to you. Brian says, Jared Cook is a clown. Absolutely no awareness and ball protection. I know, bro. That's what I said. KK504 and 44 later says, these folks defending Drew are the same folks crying a river when lights goes out and they don't have candles for the. That's some more neck rolling going on today. And might I add some finger pointing too. She neck rolling and finger pointing on that one. All right, Slick said it was some bad calls in that last game. No, it was. Farouk says, I'm ready to eat some W's. Yep. Charles, what's up, fam? Charles Farris says, thanks, Q, for the podcast. This is therapy to some of us during the off season. No problem, my friend. I appreciate you being here. Thank y'all for tuning in, bro. Appreciate you. All right. Let KK504 and 44 lady says, Tyrese, did you say the same about fumble BT Taysom Hill? I'm waiting. She about to go on in on Tyrese. Who That for Life says, keep trying to tell people Sean is a problem. He said, keep trying to tell people Sean is a problem at times. He is. He need to be on the hot seat. I've been beating this drum for years, and the family members know it. my dog CB from the Who That chat line podcast. Big ups to CB and Saints Underground and the rest of the family members, Who That for Life, and all the family members over there that's doing great work, man. I love what they're doing over there. Good people, smart people. And he came on the show. What was that? Last week, I think CB popped in. And the brother was just going over, his thoughts and said, yeah, Q, I'm with you on that. We're going to ride on Peyton. I'm like, that made me feel good. I said, let's all get together and ride, baby. Let's ride. Let's put the Tupac music on and ride on our enemies. Let's put it on. Let's go. Let's ride. All right. But, man, that made me feel good, bro. Because the reality is, man, that means people are starting to see what I've been saying for years about Sean Payton. 4 years about him, man. And that feels good, man, because that's that vindication. Swag Fan says, I like Ryan's 3-4 defense, but it wasn't his fault. The Saints didn't have the personnel. Very true. Very true. Kevin said, I was very surprised to see that article that reporter wrote, Q, that was aimed at you. Well, I mean, they do. And bro, listen, I'm not a foolish man by any stretches, bro. I've been doing these shows for a while. And man, I've been reading a lot of the articles from the Saints media for a long time. And it's usually status or standard type of stuff. But even in DC brought this to my attention. Big ups to DC. And much love to my dog, DC. He had his birthday was yesterday, family. So so all the family members, give my dog DC. I know he watching. Give DC a big Who That birthday to my dog DC, man. I forgot how old he turned, but I know he he was thinking about. I think DC, he could hear us. I don't know if he took his trip back to his native land, but I know DC. I'm just kidding. I'll just throw that in there. I'm not gonna joke him. But, big ups to my dog, DC. Let's give DC a happy Who That birthday. Past Who That dirt. His birthday was yesterday, Friday. Big ups to my dog, DC. All right, but he was the one who brought that up and said said, Q, you know what, man, we did in these shows and you see the narrative of how the writers, a lot of the writers listening to the show and you giving them talking points. He said, man, at first I rejected. I was like, man, go ahead on. He said, seriously, bro. Then I started realizing, like, man, wow. But you shifting the narrative because when you introducing stuff into it that most people ain't thinking about, it does create a shift in it. It's a ripple effect. And then you start seeing articles, more aggressive articles coming out against, Peyton and breaking it up. Like, listen, I'm real deal. When the Saints was doing that stuff with the Catholic Church, I went at them for a ball with that. I ain't playing with you on that. I'm not gonna ride with you and you trying to hide this type of stuff. No, and I blasted them for that. But also, and fam, listen, I ride and I blast. When you wrong, baby. You wrong and you gonna hit. But like I said, if you can love them. But the thing I give to you, Brian, listen, this is not an indictment, but listen, I'm gonna give you some advice. How I deal with a lot. When you love somebody or like somebody a lot or respect somebody a lot, if they wrong, you can't let your like or love of that person stop you from admitting when they're wrong. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you're wrong in what you're saying because you actually are right to a degree. But so is KK 504 and 404 lady and the rest of the family members to feel that way they do because they're coming from a different position than you are. Not saying that they're above you or below you, but they're coming from a different equal perspective than you are. That's why I'm encouraging family members to listen. There is nothing no one could take away from Drew Brees or take away from Sean Payton. All we are introducing is thoughts. After all, this is the Great Saint Think Tank, which means people are allowed to, advance their view or their vantage point, just like, like you see. So with that being said, I'm gonna throw a few more out there, and then we're gonna go in that. Tyrone, what's up, Tyrone? Who that to you, fam? Says, like always, great show, Big Q and the fam. Who that to you, brother? Thank you for being here. Tyrese said, I can't wait till Jameis be the starter and lose 5. Come on, Tyrese. Who that for life? I've been figured that I look how he deal with the QB situation. Right. That's really a tough thing, man, how you deal with the QB situation. I documented it and people didn't, people remember, but some people didn't remember. But just to refresh everybody's process, I went back and found the show from March the 7th, I think it was, of last year that we did, that we covered on it. We covered, had the article on there saying what he wanted to do, just to show people, that we know what we're talking about. So if you want to see that show, it was 4.5 hours, I think it was. It's on the community tab. Just go there. It's the first community, in the community tab. It's the first video there. And you can watch that show from last year at March the 7th, I think it was, when he was doing the same type of stuff. Every year is no stability to know who the quarterback is. Unless you're Drew Brees, there is no person here we know anything about. You had an opportunity to lash down on Teddy Bridgewater. You had Jameis Winston. We want Jameis Winston back. The truth is, with Indianapolis out of the way, that's one less team that could be going after Jameis Winston. But still in all, you're going to have to pay to keep him. Thank y'all for giving DC a shout out too. KK50444 says, Tyrese, do you remember we went 7-9 3 years in a row? Do you remember those years with Drew Brees? Yeah, we don't remember those years, do we? Yep, that's right. 3 7-9 years. She's definitely a scholar. Who that for life said, who know Drew is getting old and Taysom is hot garbage. But at the same time, he's not sold on James, but keep trying. He says, keep trying to keep a guy around that old Drew. Show how he was the last couple of years. Thank you, Who that for life. All right. Ramsey says, hey, Q, where is the other half of the group tag team? Is he still fixing ice cream sundaes, or is he still at the Burger King drive-thru? Oh, no, he's chilling, man. We're going to get him to pop up sooner or later, man. He wanted to get on the show a couple of days ago. But I just forgot to call him, man, and get him on that. That was on me. So we're going to probably get old Black Suede in the building, man. Thank you for asking, though, Ramsey. I'm going to let him know you asked about him, bro. All right. Let's see. Tyrese says Drew Brees didn't have MT, a.k.a. Hill. He didn't have weapons. And Trey said, I would say we need a QB in the draft or free agent. Smokeless. What's up, Smokeless? Young brother Smokeless in the building. Who that, brother? Randy says, don't Adrian Broner fight tonight. He does. He got a cab driver he fighting tonight, and he should be able to touch him up. Simply Tasha said, I appreciate the contributions Drew gave, but it's time for him to go, for real, man. For real. Trey Joe said, happy flocking birthday, DC. All right. Swag fan says, Levi Lewis 2022 still hanging on to hope. Yep, well, we'll see. KK504 said 2005, 2005, 3 and 13. Ram says Sean Payton needs therapy badly. Sean Payton tell you ain't nothing wrong with him. Remember he told the butcher, cut this meat better. You don't know what you're talking about? Cut this meat better. I knew something was wrong with him when he told the person that. And that wasn't the only isolated incident. He had a run-in, not only with the butcher, he had a valet run-in, and there was several other people that he didn't report on that was talking and asking him about what happened in that playoff game of not this past season, but the year before that with Minnesota, that he was going off on. And you can't do that, man. You wrong as two left shoes doing that. And you in the wrong. And they were questioning about those calls, and he got upset as opposed to addressing and saying, you know what, it was just a bad decision. He didn't go the humble man route. He got buck on the dude, which made me like nobody challenged that. I was like, man, that's wrong. You can't do that, man. You can't get buck on the man. The man asking you a question. He wasn't disrespectful. He didn't say nothing wrong about your mama or where you come from. You know, he was asking you about that play, and he got buck on the man, and I ain't like that. But that was an indictment of his mental stability then, and his mindset of who he is as a person to go out of the man, the butcher. He obviously a Saints person. He wasn't a Saints person, he would have not known about that incident or wouldn't have cared to ask Peyton about that. But simply to ask him about it, you go off on the man, like, you need to cut this meat better. Man, that's an indictment of his mental health. And that's why I keep saying Sean Payton is something not right. But you can't get close to him, and he won't take instruction from you, or he won't listen to your suggestions in a way that'll improve the team, even if it means taking power from him, meaning giving up the play calling duties and letting the man that got the title do it. And he refuses to do that. He will not do that because he's a micromanager, which is a part of the problem why the team is falling short. You won't place the blame where it deserves to go. And you're right, he did waste a lot of Drew Brees' years playing around, screwing around with the defense. You're right. So, but Drew gave you up until 42, 43 years old. Come on, who does that? Now we want Taysom to take over. Taysom's 31 years old with 4 games of experience in the NFL. 2 games he looked good in, 2 games not so good. So he's still a lot to learn there. Jameis hasn't played in over a year. He was just mostly a backup last year. Still has to learn the system. But if Taysom's really the guy, and Peyton says he is, Why wasn't he signed to more than a 2-year deal? Why didn't he give him a 4-year deal so you can work it out? Why just 2 years? I just, a lot of what he says about the quarterbacks, knowing Sean Payton and his behaviors over the last many years is very, very, it's just unbelievable. I don't believe him. I'm sorry. What can I tell you? All right. What's up, Big Boy Pain Music? What's up, fam? Been rocking with the Sports Cone, Big Q and the guys since 2017. What's up, fam? Thank you for being here, bro. What's up? Ben Wynn says, why is Drew waiting so long to announce unless he's thinking about returning for one more year healthy? Hey, how about that? Thank you, Ben Wynn. Thank you. And I agree with you, fam. It's something behind it. Word on the street is that he's thinking about coming back. I know most of y'all don't like it. Some people do. Most of y'all don't. That's what it is, baby. Trust the Peyton. That was Sway would tell me. He said, man, trust the Peyton, bro. Tyrese said Jameis had weapons in Tampa. Okay, he's still going. And Smoking says, who that? All right. Look at they still going at it. Fareed says the last 4 years the Saints offense was dink and dunk. I'm sorry. Imagine trying to game plan for the Saints with Jameis at the helm. Now we're ready to explode when you incorporate the deep pass. It definitely opened things up, that's for certain. Big Sean, what's up, fam? What's up, Big Sean? Says, forget that. Let's just draft QBs, all our picks. All right. Well, hey, bro, we listen. Hey, man, we need to move the offense some kind of way, right? All right. KK50444 later. Let's call it. Folks want Taysom because he's white. Uh-oh, she got it. She got the finger out now. She got the finger and wagging it on him. Uh-oh, I told you, she lit today. KK504 and 404, baby, you are lit today. Torres says Tampa didn't have an O-line when Winston was there either. Swag says we need to switch to the 3-4 defense. Colin says no mas. All right, Derek, what's up, Derek? Says, please, no, Drew. It would be a shame if we lost Winston. All right, Swag fan says 404 lady facts. All right, Tramal says I can't watch Drew come back. Torres says, yep. Ramsey says we need to start a let Drew go campaign. We're going to see, bro. Time will tell. Something tells me in the upcoming week, we should hear something about the Drew Brees situation, whether he comes back or not. I don't think you should let Drew come back because unless you can retain a lot of the members of the Super Bowl team and keep them there, the Emmanuel Sanders and guys like that in some kind of way, keep the team intact, some kind of weird way, which I severely doubt that, man. Trey Henderson is not going to take a cheap contract. Sheldon Rankins was a big part of it. Him and David Onyemata. It's going to be difficult to keep it. I don't want him back if it means you're going to have a less talented team. It's not going to work. So, I mean, if you're going to move to the next era, it is time for a new era of football in the Big East. We need a new quarterback. And we'll see, man. We'll see how it goes. It's a shame. I just don't want to see Drew get hurt, man, like he got hurt last year, man. It was like I took that sack. When I seen that big some gun slam him in the ground, boy, they slammed Drew so hard on the ground. They slapped that big old some gun slammed him so hard on the ground. He shook hands with the devil on that. He implanted Drew like he was a goddamn tree. Oh, man, I was like, oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. But listen, that was who picked that who picked that center and turned him into a guard and he got beat badly? Who decided to put a rookie ass offensive lineman on a Super Bowl or bust team with a quarterback that's probably the less mobile quarterback in the business, in the game? Not me. So with that being said, Big Shot says, I'll pray for Drew, my salary, pay him my salary to retire. Tyrese says, I'm not going to say nothing more about Jameis. I'm going to let y'all see how far he make it with him. All right. Tyrese is a Taysom Hill guy. That's what he's going to say. Anthony says, clearing the cap space frees up QB money. Lori says, I love Drew, but his time is over. DeWine, what's up, DeWine? I think Drew's trying to see if they can find a QB. Well, I mean, according to Sean Payton, they got a QB. They got a QB. His name is Taysom Hill, which I showed y'all. Should I need to show y'all the family members that? I think I screenshotted the image. Give me a second. Maybe I could share the image with y'all from last night's show. I think I screenshotted it. Hold on here. And hold on here. Let me see. Right. And this is why I was showing the family members. Hold on, let me see if I can share this with the family members here. All right, so this is what I was showing last night. And this is from CBS. This was the articles that they had. I screenshotted it. And pretty much what it's showing is it says that, as you can read right here, ESPN. Oh, crap. Let me get that off of there. I didn't mean to put that up there. Let me see. Can I erase that? Nah, never mind. Don't worry about it. But anyway, ESPN's Adam Schefter reported Friday. Now, this was of last year. This was March of last year that this occurred, right? All right. So it's saying Adam Schefter reported Friday that the Saints plan on using a first round restricted free agent tender on number 3 QB Taysom Hill, meaning they'll receive a first round pick in the event another team offers Hill a contract with the Saints. Declined to match. He said, and the Saints declined to match the offer. Not only that, Schefter added, but they've already operated under the mindset they'll have locked up a separate contract extension before free agent officially begins March the 18th, which it didn't. Now, remember, they put a first round tender on Taysom to keep other people away from Taysom, which it did work. Now, when free agency opened up, remember, they didn't sign Taysom Hill until way later. All right? Then let's keep going. But Coach Payton, here it is, right here. Coach Payton said earlier this offseason he anticipated Hill's contract would take a little more work than that of Drew Brees', an impending free agent who's already declared he'll return to New Orleans. Now, remember, this article was done after Sean Payton begged Drew Brees to come back. Now, we did the shows last year, breaking all of this down and was covering it at the time when Drew re-signed. I was hitting them with all of the information. You can, like I said, you go back in the archives and look it up, or you can simply go to the community section and find the show that I did last year on March the 7th of 2020, which was covering the same situation. The last 3 years, oddly enough, we've been doing the same stuff at the QB position, playing games. Now, this is the part of the story right here that I want to get to, which is where the meat and potatoes is, right here. Now, it says, Coach Payton said earlier this offseason he anticipated Hill's contract would take a little more work than that of Drew, an impending free agent who he already declared a return to New Orleans. But it's apparent the Saints want Hill in the building, with previous reports indicating that the team even wants Brees to help pass the torch to Hill in 2020 to 2021. Hill himself said he believes he's a franchise quarterback. Now, you can see right here, people keep telling me, Q, he never said that he was the heir apparent. This article covers and even prefaces the term, the man puts it in quote and end quote, help Brees to pass the torch to Hill in 2020 to 2021, which means, this is last year's article, is saying that Drew was supposed to come back for 1 year to help Drew. Now, do y'all remember when Sean Payton was saying that that Taysom is the heir apparent to Drew, but he's not ready yet. We want Drew to come back for 1 year until Taysom is ready. Put one in the chat if you remember that. This is the story after that that's showing you these are the words of Payton saying that he wanted Drew to come back for 1 year so he can, quote, pass the torch. Is right here. It's right here. Pass the torch. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm look terrible, but y'all see what I'm saying. Pass the torch to Hill in 2021. So what I'm showing y'all that for is to show you that that's exactly what that was said. So I'm just showing you that that's what Sean Payton had for the plan. So all of a sudden, when did it go from passing the torch? Remember, he just wanted them for 1 year, Drew that is, for 1 year because he said Taysom wasn't ready. I just showed you the report with his words in quotations. Passed the torch from Drew to Taysom Hill. So for 1 year, 1 year. Now you've seen the article. This was from last year. That's why I'm preferencing went and dug up all this, went into the old show, found the old show, just to show people like what's going on with the QB position. This is what Payton did last year. He said, listen, we want you to come back for 1 year and then pass the torch to Taysom Hill, which is this year. So the question I ask to you guys is, what changed? Did Taysom not show you that he is a franchise quarterback? He must have not, family, if he's waiting for Drew to come back. So two things. Two things. Number one, Peyton lied to Taysom Hill just like he lied to Teddy Bridgewater again. And two, when you tell Drew, I want you to be here for 1 year so I can get Taysom ready, and then the year goes and Drew does what he's supposed to do, and not Taysom Hill's waiting for a chance to get to the QB job, and then Sean Payton say, "Nah, we waiting on Drew." How do you think Taysom Hill feels, knowing that Payton told him last year that he was the guy to take the torch from Drew? Now he waiting on Drew to come back this year. Taysom is only a 1 year contract. So if anything, this was supposed to be Taysom's Hill. See what I'm saying? I'm showing you documented evidence and proof that Sean Payton continues to lie to these quarterbacks. He told the same thing to Teddy Bridgewater a couple of years ago, and now he's doing the same thing to Taysom Hill. If it's Taysom's team, why are you waiting for Drew to decide on whether or not he's going to retire? And if we take Sean Payton for his word, why are you then saying to Taysom, if you saying that it's Taysom's Hill team this year, then why are you waiting on Drew Brees to retire? You asked him for 1 year. You didn't say 2. Even though you signed the contract for 2, you just needed him to get them together. So once again, another lie that's been told to the quarterbacks, which I keep showing y'all this. They be saying, well, Q just be hating on Sean Payton. Nah, man, I don't just go hating on nobody. I don't got time to sit up there and hate on no goddamn body, man. I'm sitting up here, I'm hitting you with the facts and stats, and if you choose to ignore them, that's on your blind ass. But at the end of the day, I'm showing you the words that this man is saying. He did the same stuff to Jameis Winston 2 years ago. And I warned you, I go back and you listen to last year's show that's linked in the community section page. You can listen to that show almost a year ago, and I say the same thing that I'm saying now, that he lied to Teddy Bridgewater. He's going to lie to you, Taysom, and you need to take a lesson from. I said the same thing. When did it become all about Drew all of a sudden when it was supposed to be Taysom's team? When did he have that discussion? And how does Taysom Hill feel knowing that he ain't the heir apparent? Well, he shouldn't feel too surprised because that shit just happened to Taysom. Not to Taysom, to Teddy Bridgewater. And then remember, he tried to circle back. Sean Payton tried to circle back and sign Teddy Bridgewater to a contract. Y'all remember that? And then Teddy Bridgewater stuck him with that middle finger. And he said, the hell with you. I'm going to Carolina to whoop your ass when we play. Remember that? The trust was gone because you lied to him. You told him to get him to re-sign after you traded for him several years ago that you was the heir apparent to Drew Brees. We remember that because I covered it. And then when it comes down to, he don't have no conversation with Teddy Bridgewater. He declares Taysom Hill the heir apparent, then goes and begs Drew to come back. This happened last year for 1 year so he can get Taysom ready for the quarterback position. And then after he do that, he cycled back to Teddy Bridgewater, who he alienated, to try to get him to sign back with the team. And Teddy Bridgewater told him, bam, and went to Carolina. Listen to me now. Listen to me now. I'm telling you, this is what's happening. And people don't believe me until I rip out the paperwork on their ass. Man, I've been talking about this, man. Go back and listen to the show last year. I'm saying the same shit now I said then. I said, listen, bro. And I was like, man, I forgot I said that in the show. Last year I said, I don't think he's keeping it real with Taysom. I think he's just using him for his gimmicky potential. I don't really believe that he feels that he's a franchise quarterback. I said that last year. You can go back and listen to the show. It's on there. It's on there. It's on there. I'm just keeping it real deal, Holyfield. This man continue to lie to these quarterbacks. If you ain't Drew Brees, he ain't going to lie to you. He don't lie to Drew Brees. He don't lie to Drew. He lied to everybody else. That's why we don't have a set quarterback for the next 4 or 5 years. Don't you find it strange that over the last several years, the only quarterback that can have a 4 or 5 year, 3 or 4 year contract is Drew Brees? Nobody else at the quarterback position can have a contract over 3 years? Why all of the quarterbacks we getting only got 1 or 2 years that's backing up Drew Brees? And Drew Brees was well over 40 years old when the last couple, he's 42 years old this year. Shouldn't we been looking at a backup at 39? Why didn't we draft somebody then? We expected Drew to play till he's 43 years old? Or that's what, really? That's, you insane, man. You insane. This is a young person's game. You can't ask that much of Drew Brees in there. Man, they people are plaster Drew. He can't even get out of harm's way. But I keep showing people, see, that's dysfunction there. And I keep saying if it's not Drew Brees, he's not going to do it right. Taysom Hill is not, I don't think he looks at him as a franchise quarterback. You wouldn't have just gave him a 2-year deal. You would have gave him a 4-year deal if that was the case. You would have struck him out and had him a contract where he would be here for 4 years. You wouldn't have had Taysom Hill for 2 years and then you ask him, waiting for Drew to come back and you only got 1 year on his contract. See what I'm saying? I'm just trying to tell y'all, man, I've been covering this stuff. But listen, fam, I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for being here. But what Muse says, I was just going to say something isn't right. Peyton is a wild card. He doesn't like to show his hand. Yeah, he don't like to show his hand, and he a liar too. Just go call it what it is. I don't call it whatever he card player, poker player, whatever it is. He a lying bastard. That's what. Well, you know what, Q, he doing? I'm like, nah, man. Y'all hear you on that. Nah, he just a lying bastard. That's I gotta call him out, man. You've been lying to quarterbacks for over 2 years now, man. Nobody's gonna fall. What's up, Rob? Who that to you, Rob? Good to see you in the chat, fam. You know, he just a lying bastard, man. That's all I can say about it. Think about it. Jameis, when he traded to get Teddy Bridgewater down here, he told Teddy Bridgewater the job was him. Teddy signed for an extra year on a cheaper contract and gave up money to stay on as the quarterback the next year. Remember, the Miami Dolphins was trying to sign Teddy Bridgewater to double what the Saints was playing them for more years and giving them the starting job. He turned that down to come to New Orleans, and then Sean Payton don't even address him, and then comes at the end of the year says it's Taysom's job. Now, bear this in mind how insane this is. Taysom is older than Teddy Bridgewater. Taysom just had 4 games of experience as a quarterback. He's talented, but as a quarterback, he needs a lot of work. Taysom is older than Teddy Bridgewater and Jameis Winston, whom of both has more experience and playing years than Taysom Hill. But Taysom's the franchise? Huh? But you get a $1.1 million deal for Jameis and get him here super cheap and don't get a second year? You were ready to let him go into the market and declare let the market dictate his value? Was that smart? I'm saying, man, if you've seen Jameis' potential, the least you could have did when you signed Jameis to a $1.1 million contract, the best you could have done was to put a team option on that deal, that if you liked him, then you opt into that option and you'd have had him another year for $1 million plus. Simple, right? It wouldn't have cost the Saints no money to do that. But they went one hitter quitter because just like the rest of these quarterbacks, they're not serious about these quarterbacks. I'm just keeping it real. Man, come on, man. They're not keeping it real, family, when it comes down to these quarterbacks. Jameis Winston and both Teddy Bridgewater are younger and more accomplished quarterbacks than Taysom is. But Taysom's sitting on the team right now, 1 year, $16 million. Teddy Bridgewater is with Carolina right now, and he ain't coming back. He won't come back. He ain't gonna come play for somebody he don't trust. And you got Jameis Winston over here about to go into free agency, and he gonna make 4 times what he was making with the Saints. So I mean, man, listen, we'll see. I keep saying he continues to keep playing around and lying about these quarterbacks, and I continue to keep on documenting. You tell me with your Saint intellect, does it make sense to put $16 million on a quarterback that's 31 years old, who played a total of 4 games as a quarterback in the NFL, and they got Teddy Bridgewater, who's younger and more accomplished, so is Jameis Winston, and then they're not even on the team. They didn't even want to. I'm just saying, man, we'll see. And Rob says draft a quarterback. I'm with you on that, bro. We'll see. But I'm just saying, think about the psychology of what I'm throwing out at you guys. And then don't forget the history of what I'm showing you. I've documented this stuff over several years of covering this stuff, and he keep doing the same stuff. Remember, people are people of habit. I ain't gonna say creature, because you ain't no creature. But there's behavior patterns with people. He does the same behavior every year. I just showed you with the CBS report that Taysom that he said that Drew was supposed to pass the torch on to Taysom this year. So if he was supposed to do that this year, then why is he waiting on Drew to decide whether or not he's gonna play? If Taysom's supposed to be the man, you salute Drew, thank him, and go on to Taysom. Why the change? Is Taysom not ready to be the quarterback? I mean, come on, man. I'm just trying to make y'all think about this stuff. Think about it for a second. How do you go to a quarterback that's 31 years old, who's played a total of 4 games as a quarterback? He's phenomenal everywhere else, but we're talking quarterback for a second. Both Jameis and Teddy Bridgewater are younger and more accomplished first-round draft pick quarterbacks, none of which are on this team. And they said, well, Q, you going to re-sign Jameis Winston. Man, you could have had Jameis Winston for 2 years at 1.1 each year, and that wouldn't have hurt the Saints. Come on. Keep it real. You could have put an option in that first year if you really wanted Jameis that bad. But you going to let the market dictate his value? And you don't have no money? Come on, man. Come on. It's a perfect excuse to say, well, we tried to get Jameis, but the market was too high. Watch. Why? We're going to see. Anything, like I said, anything can happen, man. We're going to monitor the situation. But listen, I thank y'all for being in this piece. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all having fun with me on this Saturday afternoon. It's 8:30. I'm going to hop over to our Pelican post-game report side of things. And I'm going to hop on over to the Pelican side of things. I appreciate y'all for being on the show tonight. And we're going to do that. So listen, family. Please feel free to hit up the Pro Shop. The links is in the description section below for merch, show platform merch or whatever. The links in the description section below. Also feel free to join our Patreon at patreon.com/Pro Media Network. Patreon.com/Pro Media Network is available. It helps out the platform. You can sign up for as little as $1. Also, we have that Real Deal over there, breaking it down as well. So with that being said, you can also join our YouTube channel as well and become a member like Big Sean did yesterday? Appreciate you, Big Sean. And big ups to Stephen G, who subscribed to the Great Saint Think Tank. So appreciate you and much love to you as well. So with that being said, I thank y'all for joining us. And I shall see you on another date when we do another breakdown and we'll have some more folks. So who that to your family? And I'll see y'all later. Peace. Y'all be safe, be blessed, and I'm out.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma.